I, Sarutobi Hiruzen, the strongest third-generation project in history by author War Violence, Chapter 1, I'm invincible under the super shadow, I pray for flowers and comments. On November 18th, Kano is 43 years. Kano Village, the topmost floor of the Hokage building in the central area, specially constructed training room. Well, with a helpless sigh, 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, wearing a tight black combat uniform, a ninja cap, and a mustache on his chin, temporarily ended his training. The body is going downhill. Sensing his exhausted body, 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but smile bitterly, and picked up a cup of warm goji berry water from the side of the table, and drank it one after another. Ahem, but, the moment I drink it, Sarutobi Hiruzen's complexion changed for a while, and he coughed a few times violently. His shortness of breath caused the goji berry water he had just drank to be spit out directly. Fortunately, Sarutobi Hiruzen seems to be well prepared, picking up the white cloth on the table and covering his mouth. After a few minutes, the cough gradually subsided. Sarutobi Hiruzen slowly removed the white cloth, only to see a large puddle of blood suddenly appearing on the white cloth, making the white cloth dyed bright red, and a strong smell of blood spread over the surface. Boom! Throwing the red-dyed white cloth in the trash can casually, Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head desolately, picked up the cup and drank some goji berry water, rinsed his mouth well, until the bloody smell in his mouth was completely cleared. Sarutobi Hiruzen slumped down on the chair, staring blankly at the photo hanging in front of the training room. Yes, this is a photo of him sitting on the Hokage seat. At the age of 38, his sideburns and beard were black and beautiful, and his ability and strength were at a small peak. With his hands in his pockets, he proudly sat on the 3rd Hokage position. Other time travelers have achieved Kage level at the age of 5, Super Shadow at the age of 7, and punched Akai Madara, Senju Hashirama, kicked O at Satsuki Shiba, and stormed the O at Satsuki Kikuya at the age of 9. How did I get here? I became the 3rd Hokage of Konohagakure, the Land of Fire, and the 2nd Hokage Amidal. Senju Tobirama's direct disciple, who can skillfully combine 5 kinds of ninjutsu with different attributes, and has mastered all non-blood skills in Konoha. What about the super invincible ninja bear Sarutobi Hiruzen, who enjoys the title of Professor of Ninjutsu and cultivated the Sannin of Megatron Ninjutsu after ninjutsu? Uncomfortable. I don't know how long it has been. A bitter expression appeared on the corner of Sarutobi Hiruzen's mouth. Yes, he is a time traveler. In his previous life, he was just an ordinary worker enjoying 996 blessings, so when he learned that he had crossed into the Hokage world, he was excited, happy, excited, and uneasy advertisement. But I didn't expect. I actually traveled to the Sarutobi clan, and was named Sarutobi Hiruzen by Sarutobi Sasuke. At first he was lucky, thinking it was just a coincidence, but as he grew older, especially after seeing the wood style of 1st Hokage Senju Hashirama and the water style of 2nd Hokage Senju Tobirama, he gradually became sure, I am indeed the 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen in the anime. He who is familiar with the plot, it is very clear that everyone has a different understanding of 3rd Hokage. Some commented on good old man, some commented on weak and incompetent, some commented on kind old man, some commented on sophisticated politician, some commented external obedience, internal heavy blows, some comments. Anyway, there are mixed reviews. No, it's more derogatory than praise. Especially where the leaves are flying, the fire is always alive. This sentence was even carried forward by 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. It can be said that Konoha's super invincible illusion, will of fire, has affected every ninja. Although it cannot be denied that 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen's dedication to Konoha was willing to sacrifice his life. After all, the reason why he was able to finally win the selection of 2nd generation in the early days was because of his more determined dedication than Danzo, and it cannot be denied that 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen created a heyday for Konohagakure. But boom and bust. With a weakening of 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen's own strength, and the crazy obsession with the position of Hokage, one wrong step, in the end, he played a king of glory to bronze. For example, when Konoha's White Fang was accused of giving up the mission to save his companions, he did not speak for White Fang, but acquiesced that everyone blamed White Fang. Hiruzen did not pay attention to the increasingly dangerous Sorakamaru, and did not go all out after defecting stopped, or secretly acquiesced to what Torakamaru did on the night of the Nine Tails Rebellion. Except for pushing Nine Tails out of Konoha village with a stick, he did not provide much assistance to Minato. The identity of the Overlord came back strongly to be Hokage. Instead of giving way to the younger generation in the extermination of the Uchiha clan, there was no effective action, but let Danzo operate Naruto's placement problem when he was young, etc. Actually a broken bar. Then again, in a sense, Kishimoto knows the Hokage of the Hammer. Whether it is the timeline or the plot, there are many big holes left. It can only be made up by the readers themselves. So the so-called conspiracy theory appeared, and using conspiracy theory to explain these loopholes, you will be surprised to find that everything is logical. In short, late Nape Shadow, What Danzo does is some of the darker side of Sarutobi Hiruzen. Certainly, this is the situation in the original book. After learning that he was traveling for 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen quickly adjusted his mentality and began to redouble his efforts in cultivation. He wanted to rely on his own efforts to rewrite his own destiny and strive to live to the super invincible and passionate Fu Renchuan. In the end, just like in the original book, he became the direct disciple of 2nd Hokage Senju Tobirama. He was also able to skillfully combine 5 kinds of ninjutsu with different attributes, and mastered all non-blood inherited ninjutsu of Konoha. The title of Professor of Art is still the seinen that has cultivated the Megatron ninja world. Simply put, with my hard work and talent, even without the blessing of the blood of the Oetsutsuki family, he has reached the peak that an ordinary person can achieve. Under the super shadow advertisement I am invincible. There's also a little fighting power under the 6 paths above the super shadow. During this period, Sarutobi Hiruzen also changed a lot of plots intentionally or unintentionally, for the sake of cultivation. He didn't marry a wife and have children, he just wanted to devote himself to cultivation. Women would only affect his cultivation speed. After the death of 2nd Hokage Senju Tobirama, the Senju family chose to give up Senju's surname and broke it up into pieces. He did not intentionally make trouble, nor targeted the Senju family. He also deliberately told his apprentice Tsunade not to fall in love for the time being and did not deliberately suppress the Uchiha clan. And in the Second Ninja Time War, even if the battle ahead was extremely tight, he girded his teeth and did not send students from the ninja school to the battlefield. In his words, no one can suffer children, these students cannot be used as cannon fodder on the battlefield. Finally, the result is that Konoha village is caught in a long protracted battle. If it weren't for the strong and deep background and enough high-end combat power, I'm afraid it wouldn't have won the final victory. And, with the victory of the Second Ninja World War, Tsunade, or Rakamaru, and Jiraiya broke out the reputation of seinen. Hatetsukumo also won the title of Hatake White Fang. Kato-dan did not die, and he had no chance to study in the ninja school. Senju Nawaki on the battlefield is not dead either. It seems that everyone is happy. But there are still regrets. That is, in the final decisive battle, Konoha's mid-level power suffered heavy losses, especially as 3rd Hokage. He was ambushed, and the 3rd Raikage, who was at the peak of the 1-2 battle, and the fully told 8 Tails Jinchuriki Burubi. If he won, but he won miserably. He was severely injured, and has not recovered until now. This is also the direct reason why he often vomits blood. That battle had already hurt the root, and there was still a strange ray of 8 Tails' original power in his body that couldn't be removed. Certainly, as an opponent, 3rd Raikage was also injured. 8 Tails Jinchuriki Burubi has only half life left, and can only lie in bed for the rest of his life. It is also after this battle, he, Sarutobi Hiruzen, became the #1 person recognized in the ninja world under the super shadow. Even the half-god Hansei ring of the salamander and 3rd Tsuchika Jonoki had to acquiesce to this fact. Well, if it continues like this, I'm afraid I won't even be able to live to the age of 69 in the original book. The corner of Sarutobi Hiruzen's mouth unconsciously showed a ray of self-deprecating arc. He has tried his best to cultivate, ruled and changed Konoha village with his own style. Why is your body not up to snuff? After that battle, not only did the internal injury not heal, but under the influence of the original power of 8 Tails, it gradually turned into a persistent disease. You don't need to think about it. As time goes by and age grows, he will only get weaker and weaker. You don't have to wait for the Konoha village collapse plan in the original book. I am afraid that the 3rd Ninja World War will not be able to survive the plot. Before it even started, it was dead. No, in his current physical condition. Wait a few more years, I'm afraid that even Shimura-dan's A-ring, Utatane Koharu, and Midokado Hamura can't hold back! Exclamation mark. These years, Shimura-dan's A-ring, Utatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura are very uncomfortable with his arbitrary style of doing things. Advertisement: once you can't hold back, the consequences will be very serious. I feel so sad and want to cry! Exclamation mark. I knew this was the case. He should learn the 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen in the original book. No matter how tight the front line is, sit firmly on the Diotai and never take risks easily. Whoever threatens his rule will do it. If there are not enough ninjas on the front line, let the students of the ninja school go, and let the young people light up the village and protect Konoha village. Also with Shimura-dan's A-ring, Utatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura. No, it is a win-win cooperation, to become bigger and stronger, to create greater glories. Let's work together for the development of Konoha village. Now he is in a dilemma. Only 49 years old, his strength and physical condition have declined seriously. To know, in the absence of blood succession boundaries, generally, ninjas in their 50s are at their peak. For example, in Shippuden, one of his 3 apprentices relies on sealing, one relies on immortality, and the other relies on technology, and they are still at the peak in their 50s. This peak is equivalent to an ordinary person. Wall hangings with Oetsutsuki bloodlines such as Uzumaki Naruto, Uchiha Sasuke, Uchiha Madara, Senju Hashirama are excluded. After all, after the blast, The bloodline theory has completely replaced the effort theory, and it has become bloodline first, inheritance second, and hard work second. If you are not related to the blood of the Oetsutsuki clan, you are not qualified to stand at the pinnacle of the ninja world, nor to participate in the final decisive battle of high-end combat power, nor to participate in the infighting of the Oetsutsuki clan. What's even more ridiculous is that the Fourth Ninja World War was full of fights and only fought for a little over 3 days. And as the two protagonists, the combat power of Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke has grown exponentially. Such a growth rate of strength, even Sarutobi Hiruzen was envious and jealous for a while. He has worked hard for decades to reach the state of mind invincibility under the Super Shadow, which is simply not comparable to the godlike growth rate of Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you everyone. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 2. Do you know how I have lived through these years? Erkin begs for flowers and comments. Prev chapter. Next chapter advertisement. That's all. Even if the internal injury is still not healed, even if the body gradually falls from the peak, even if the life will be shorter than the original book, now I can still control the overall situation of Konoha village. If the strength continues to weaken, then we can only adopt some other plans. Isn't it the blood of the Oetsutsuki clan? There will be. The boat will be straight when it reaches the bridge, so keep practicing hard. I do not know how long it has been. Sarutobi Hiruzen slowly stood up from the chair, clenched his fist. As a ninja, he is not only able to skillfully combine 5 ninjutsu with different attributes, but also masters all non-blood successful ninjutsu of Konoha. Physical fitness is actually not weak, even if he has suffered serious internal injuries and started to age, his body is much stronger than ordinary ninjas. After all, the #1 fortress mage in the ninja world under the mediocre blood successor was not blown out. The essential, this mage is also a melee master, so, as long as there is still strength, then the situation in Konoha village will be stable for the time being. Aside from other things, in fact, with my mortal body, reaching the current achievement is a pinnacle that is difficult for ordinary people to reach. It is similar to my guy who almost kicked out a finale. Sarutobi Hiruzen seemed to have thought of something, and comforted himself with a little self-deprecating, alright. As a traverser, in fact, he is also the lord whose heart is higher than the sky. Want to take a completely different path from Sarutobi Hiruzen in the original book, and prove that he is truly the strongest Hokage in history. Advertisement. But after practicing hard for more than 40 years, it changed some plots. But the final fate is foreseeable to be even more tragic than Sarutobi Hiruzen in the original book. At least, in the original book, Sarutobi Hiruzen lived to be 69 years old by being submissive externally and striking internally. And now his physical condition is gradually getting worse. If this continues, his body will completely collapse after the outbreak of the Third Ninja World War. So, the first thing is to survive the Third Ninja World War. Thinking of this, a gleam of coldness flashed in Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes. Nothing to say. Although Konoha village won the Second Ninja World War, but whether it is Iwagakure, Cloud Shinaba village, or Sunagakure, and Garigakure who did not participate in the Second Ninja World War, they are not very convinced. Especially after Konoha village has digested the harvest of World War II, the economic development of Konoha village and the major ninja villages has become more and more unbalanced, and the contradictions have become increasingly acute. It is foreseeable the Third World War of Ninjas may break out at any time. One fuse can completely ignite the Third Ninja World War. In the original book, it was because of the disappearance of Third Kazekage, killed by the Red Sand Scorpion and made into a human puppet with a chakra core, that the Third Ninja World War was detonated. As for the specific time, it is not clear. Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help frowning, subconsciously picked up the goji berry pot and poured a cup of hot goji berry water, and took a few sips slowly. No specific time. He can't make a good layout, so he can only take one step at a time. As for recovering from the body's stubborn illness and slowing down the speed of aging, there are actually ways to do it. Whether it is transplanting the cells of first Hokage Senju Hashirama, or learning fairy art, or becoming Jinchuriki, the secret art of the undead duo, the sealing art of the good boy Tsunade, etc., it is actually all possible. But, as a last resort, Sarutobi Hiruzen really didn't want to take the risk. To take a risk because the transplantation technology is not mature at all, and his apprentice Orochimaru has not yet conducted research in this area. Tsunade's 100 Healings mark is still under development and has not yet been fully developed. As for learning fairy arts, there is no aura of the main character. If you fail to learn and become petrified, then you will lose money. If you become Jinchuriki, it is a little better, but the tailed beast enters the body. Make people feel uncomfortable. After all, after working hard for so many years, he, Sarutobi Hiruzen, may marry a wife and have children when he accepts his fate one day. There is a tailed beast in his body. The mystery of the undead duo, Still need to find it, and it is more troublesome. I don't know if it is suitable for him to practice. Advertisement. It seems that you still need Tsunade to help you practice as a teacher. Not long after, the corner of Sarutobi Hiruzen's mouth curved slightly, and he didn't bother to think so much. Anyway, there is a way, if it doesn't work in the end, in order to protect your own interest and maintain the peace and stability of Konoha Village. Then I'm sorry, but based on the mentality that I would rather Konoha Village than Konoha Village, he will not hesitate to go to a road of blackening guarding Konoha Village that is completely different from the original book. Certainly, these are all things for later. Now he just need to practice hard, try to keep the stubborn disease from getting worse. Just sit back and watch the rising tide of Ninja World and the dark tide inside Konoha Village. Ding dong. Ding dong. Ding dong. Ding dong. But, just at this time, a series of incomparably mechanical voices resounded in Sarutobi Hiruzen's mind. Listen to the voice in your head. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was planning to leave the practice room to go out, was stunned for a moment, as if he didn't react, and his eyes were still flickering with a look of surprise. FK, no. Can't you? A few seconds later, Sarutobi Hiruzen suppressed the excitement and trembling in his heart, and muttered to himself, 49 years, a full 49 years? The system. Is the system activated? Why not wait? I'm dead, and the system was activated after I was in pure world reincarnation? Alright, as a traverser, I have never eaten pork, and I have seen pigs run away. Of course Sarutobi Hiruzen knew that the mechanical sound was the sound of the cheat starting up, right? Son of a bitch, advertisement grid system knows how he has lived these years, to reach the peak that a mortal can reach. He has worked hard, but he is powerless to change the overall situation. Because Sarutobi Hiruzen knows very well that World War I, World War II, and World War III are just small scenes. The real bloody civil war of the Oetsutsuki clan officially started from Shippuden. Without the blood of the Oetsutsuki clan, they never participated in the peak battle qualifications. Fortunately, at the critical moment, his cheat seems to be coming to the account. You have cheats, and I have cheats too. Are you all on the same starting line? Ding, ding. The energy of the plot change system has been accumulated. It is being activated and loaded. It is being activated and loaded. Ding, ding. The plot change system has been activated and loaded. The activation and loaded have been completed. Ding, ding. Welcome to the host to use the plot change system. This cheat allows the host to change the plot to obtain various rewards from the system, become stronger and stronger, and finally completely change the ninja world. What? This is the awakening of cheat? It seems to be some kind of plot change system. Listening to the prompts ringing in my mind, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but froze for a moment, his eyes filled with disbelief. He thought it was a god-level sign-in system, a multi-children system, a system where you get stronger when you marry a wife, a god-level template system, a god-level role-playing system, and other systems. But the plot change system, as long as the plot is changed, can the rewards of the system be obtained? Wait a minute, I am third Hokage now, and my series of behaviors from birth to now have actually changed a lot of the plot. Doesn't that mean that you can get rich rewards from the system just after activating the system? Sudden, Sarutobi Hiruzen seemed to have thought of something, couldn't suppress his excitement anymore, and couldn't help but waved his fist. Because if the system really settles rewards by changing the plot, then he will definitely get a generous reward. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you everyone. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 3 Fairy Bins and Single Contemplates Brave Chapter Next chapter advertisement Great rewards. That proves that Cheat's awakening is a timely help. The rewards are weak. That proves that he can't pin all his hopes on Cheat. Relying on the system is worse than relying on himself. As for the changing plot, he thinks he has changed a lot. At least, before Shippuden, third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen is also considered an important plot character, even though there are still more than 10 years before the plot in the anime begins. But he traveled to Sarutobi Hiruzen, and has already changed a lot of plots. The simplest point is that he himself likes to observe Konoha Village with a telescope technique. In addition, he didn't even smoke a cigarette, which must have changed the plot. Besides, what he has done in Konoha Village these years has changed the fate of many people invisibly. So, the only thing that makes Sarutobi Hiruzen curious and looking forward to is, after summarizing, what kind of rewards will the system give? Ding, ding. The plot change system is summarizing what host has done from birth to now. Please wait a moment, host. Please wait a moment, host. Exclamation mark. With the system prompt, in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen appeared a translucent screen that he could only see. There are pictures flashing on it, such as, the Senju family is broken up and is still active in Konoha Village. The Akai family has not been deliberately targeted by him. Tsunade is not in love. What to do, and so on. Advertisement. What surprised Sarutobi Hiruzen even more was, he changed some plots, so that many damned people in the original book did not die, and the undeserved people died, which was also counted by the system as changing the plot. Ding, ding, the summary and induction are over. Host changes to the plot have reached S level. Congratulations to host for obtaining the S level random reward lucky bag gift package. Congratulations to host for obtaining the S level random reward lucky bag, big gift bag. Ding, ding, the generation of the S level reward lucky bag gift package is completed. Is the host open? Sudden, while Sarutobi Hiruzen was still thinking, on the screen directly in front of him, a gift bag with golden light flashed, and a virtual finger flickered continuously, as if to signal Sarutobi Hiruzen to click to open the gift bag. Seeing this scene, Sarutobi Hiruzen was too lazy to think about anything, so he reached out and clicked on the lucky bag spree. Exclamation mark. The next moment, with the click of Sarutobi Hiruzen, a dazzling golden light erupted from the lucky bag gift bag, just like hitting a boss to explode the equipment. A series of flashing things of different colors floated in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen. Congratulations to host for getting perfect level fire style great fireball technique experience pack. Congratulations to host for getting perfect level fire style a middle. Hey oh long fire technique experience pack. Congratulations to host for getting perfect level fire style a middle. Hey Oyen technique experience pack. Congratulations to host for getting perfect level fire style dragon bomb experience pack. Congratulations to host for getting perfect level fire style a middle. Fire dragon flame bullet experience pack. Congratulations to host for getting perfect level fire style a middle. Flames Yanhuo technique experience pack. Congratulations to host for getting perfect level fire style a middle. Fire extinguishing experience package. Note, the proficiency division of ninjutsu: beginner, proficient, grandmaster, perfect. Congratulations to host for getting 5 fairy bins. Advertisement. Congratulations to the host for obtaining Zone Human Fruit a middle. Phantom Beast Species a middle. Buddha form ability user in One Piece World, Marine Marshal with Conqueror's Haki, Sengoku template, Sengoku in the peak period and Human Fruit a middle. Phantom Beast Species a middle. Buddha form side effects removed. Hiss. Looking at the things that exploded in the S level reward lucky bag gift pack, Sarutobi Hiruzen couldn't help but gasped, and couldn't help but widen his eyes. FK! Exclamation mark. Cheat deserves to be a cheat. So many good things popped up randomly. As the third Hokage of Konoha Village, he claims to be able to skillfully combine 5 kinds of ninjutsu with different attributes, and has mastered all non-blood successful ninjutsu in Konoha, and enjoys the title of Professor of Ninjutsu. But, in fact, most ninjutsu are only proficient, and have not reached the state of Grandmaster and perfect mastery. After all, too much to chew. A person's energy is limited. It is impossible for him to spend a lot of time on 1 or 2 ninjutsu. He can only replace quality with quantity. It's good now. The system directly sent him 7 perfect level fire style ninjutsu experience packages. It can be said that he lost several of years of penance. After all, a ninjutsu goes from skill to grandmaster to perfect. Not only depends on talent, but also spend a lot of time and energy. And once it reaches the perfect state, it means that for this ninjutsu, the performer has reached a level of proficiency. As long as there are enough chakra, even C-level ninjutsu, under the exquisite technique, can be used. Able to display the power of S-rank ninjutsu. More importantly, the knot seal will be simplified and the speed will be faster. It can almost be done with a clap of both hands. Certainly. Also broke out the template of Sengoku, the Marine Marshal in the world of Xayandi in One Piece. Advertisement. It directly made Sarutobi Hiruzen feel that happiness came too suddenly. Needless to say, Xayandi is a kind of magical food in Dragon Ball, cultivated by the Kalin Immortal, Cat Immortal, who lives in Kalinta. It is similar in appearance to broad beans, also known as Hudu beans. Just eating 1 grain can keep you from being hungry for 10 days. And it has a strong recovery ability. Strength. As long as people are not dead, they can restore physical strength and energy in the shortest time, nearly instantaneous, in extreme fatigue, and readjust the body to the best state. Note, Xayandi can restore physical strength and treat external and internal injuries, but it cannot heal diseases other than. As for the template of the Marine Marshal Sengoku, peak state, that broke out, there is no need to say anything. Sengoku, Zone Human Fruit a middle. Phantom Beast Species a middle. Buddha form ability person, with Conqueror's Haki, the commander of the naval headquarters in the One Piece world. His ability and strength are beyond doubt. Once Sarutobi Hiruzen performs loading fusion, not to mention the human fruit, phantom beast species, and Buddha form without side effects, but how much his physical fitness will become stronger, he can't even imagine. Ninja. Generally, the attack is high and the defense is weak, and the protracted battle is not good. Even if Sarutobi Hiruzen's body skills are not bad, it is impossible to compare with those monster-level combat powers in the world of One Piece. After all, for those monster-level combat powers in One Piece world, fighting high intensity for 10 days and a half months is as simple as eating and sleeping, especially the top powerhouses like Garp and Sengoku, who get more and more monsters with age. Ordinary ninjas, after several hours of high-intensity fighting, the body might not be able to withstand it. Even Third Raikage, who is proud of being the strongest spear and strongest shield, fought tens of thousands of ninjas for 3 days and 3 nights, and died of exhaustion. So, in this situation, thinking of my own stubborn illness, my body is gradually going downhill. The S-level Lucky Bag gift package rewarded by cheat burst at the templates of Sengoku and Marine Marshal Sengoku, Peak State, and Sarutobi Hiruzen was in a state of extreme excitement and excitement. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you everyone. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. The 4th one restores a small peak. 4 more begging for flowers and comments. Prev chapter next chapter advertisement. He was still worried a second ago. Don't worry about anything now. What kind of internal injury and stubborn disease? What kind of body began to decline? What kind of strength is not as good as those hanging on the wall in the later stage? All of them are not big problems. The 69-year-old in the original book may be just a starting point for him now. As long as he makes good use of the system, even if he lives to the super passionate Fu Wrench one, it will be easy. Wait a minute. Over time, the plot will definitely change gradually. At that time, will there really be a passionate Fu Ren biography? Never mind a broken bar. I, the strongest third Hokage in history, do things. Why do I have to think so much? A few seconds later, Sarutobi Hiruzen took a deep breath, barely suppressed his excitement, and then he moved his mind and integrated the perfect level of fire style A middle. Great Fireball Technique Experience Package. Swish, a red light flooded into Sarutobi Hiruzen's mind. Immediately afterwards, Sarutobi Hiruzen easily mastered the perfect level of fire style Great Fireball Technique, and his thorough understanding of fire style Great Fireball Technique naturally rose to a higher level. Is this the perfect level of fire style Great Fireball Technique? After a few seconds, Sarutobi Hiruzen showed an enlightened expression belatedly. If he is allowed to practice on his own, specializing in fire style, he will definitely be able to cultivate fire style A middle. Great Fireball Technique to the perfect level. But it will take some time and energy. It's good now. The system rewards directly, easily improved his ninjutsu attainments. Have you integrated all the remaining ninjutsu experience packs? Soon, Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the remaining 6 fire style experience packs. Advertisement swish, 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 exclamation mark. There was a crackling sound. The remaining 6 perfectly leveled fire style experience packs fit into Sarutobi Hiruzen's mind. In an instant, Sarutobi Hiruzen completely mastered the 6 ninjutsu including fire style A middle. Hei-O Long Nuo Technique, fire style A middle. Hei-Ha-O Quenching, fire style A middle. Think Xian Ha-A Technique, etc. by Sarutobi Hiruzen, and successfully mastered all of them. Is this the perfect level of ninjutsu? Upgraded 7 fire style ninjutsu in a row. Invisibly, Sarutobi Hiruzen has a deeper understanding of fire style, as if he saw a rainbow through the clouds and mist, and let him fall into a state of epiphany. 1 second a broken bar, 10 seconds, 3 minutes a broken bar, 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 a broken bar. As time goes by, the breath fluctuations on Sarutobi Hiruzen became more and more intense. Finally, after half an hour, the aura on Sarutobi Hiruzen's body gradually subsided, and a ray of light flashed across his eyes. Yes, in addition to 7 perfect levels of fire style ninjutsu, some of the remaining fire style ninjutsu have almost improved him from proficiency to grandmaster, and his proficiency in fire style can be said to have achieved a small transformation. Cough. But, perhaps epiphany consumed a lot of physical and mental energy. Sarutobi Hiruzen's old illness had recurred again. With his face flushed, he couldn't help coughing a few times and spit out a few mouthfuls of blood. However, this time he vomited blood. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't show any slumped and bitter expression. Instead he grinned and coughed happily. Nemus, advertisement isn't it just a cough? In the past, Lazy was cautious because of his body. Now, just cough and vomit blood casually, and if you blink your eyes, Lazy loses. Sure enough, after coughing violently for a few minutes and spitting out more than 10 mouthfuls of blood, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt unprecedentedly relaxed. It seemed that the depression, aggrieved, depressed and other negative emotions that had been suppressed in his heart for the past few years were followed by a mouthful of blood. The blood from the mouth spat out. Next. It's time to eat a fairy bean. After a while, Sarutobi Hiruzen wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth in a very comfortable manner. His gaze was fixed, and he looked at the translucent screen directly in front of him. He said, "System, I want to extract a fairy bean." Ding. Host, a fairy bean is being extracted. Ding. Host, a fairy bean has been extracted. Swish. Just as the notification sounded, something similar in shape to a broad bin was suspended near Sarutobi Hiruzen's mouth. Is it delivered directly to the door? Looking at the fairy bins floating in the mouth, Sarutobi Hiruzen opened his mouth and swallowed the fairy bean without thinking. Exclamation mark. With a wave of breath, The fairy binds that had just been taken and turned into a warm current that swept Sarutobi Hiruzen's body directly, and countless cells began to cheer and jump, and even the Shajinla in the body surged. Among them, Sarutobi Hiruzen's internal injuries. It began to recover at a speed visible to the naked eye, and the original power of 8 tails that had been remaining in the body was gradually eliminated by the power of Zyandu, and disappeared without a trace. 1 minute. 10 minutes. Half an hour. Soon, after another 2 hours, Sarutobi Hiruzen stood up with a face of surprise, especially after sensing the internal injuries in his body. His physical fitness has recovered a lot, and after his body was in a small peak state, he couldn't help but clenched his fist. Cool! Exclamation mark. Fairy bins are worthy of fairy beans! Exclamation mark. Advertisement. One celestial bean, like a magic elixir, made his body, which had been plagued by stubborn illnesses and started to decline gradually, recover immediately. Next, it's time to integrate Sengoku's templates. After calming down a bit, Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at the template of martial marine Sengoku, peak state without side effects. If Zyandu only restores his body, then the template of martial marine Sengoku, peak state without side effects, will make him undergo an earth-shaking transformation. Sarutobi Hiruzen can benefit a lot from Zone's human fruit, phantom beast, and Buddha form devil fruit, or Conqueror's Haki and Marine 6 styles. What makes Sarutobi Hiruzen even more fancy is Sengoku's physical fitness. Pirate World, a top-level monster-level combat power. Not only does he have a big stomach, but his physical fitness is also terrible. He also wants to have such a physical fitness. After all, brothers, who knows? As a lucky traveler, his current height is only 163.1 centimeters, and he is barely 170 centimeters in height. Enhancing shoes. There is nothing wrong with the monkey nickname. So, after integrating Sengoku's template, if it can have a second growth, not to mention Sengoku's 278 centimeters, it can grow to about 200 centimeters, Sarutobi Hiruzen will be very satisfied. As for looks, it's okay, right? At least Sarutobi Hiruzen in middle age is not too handsome, nor too ugly! Exclamation mark. Old age? Well, not to mention, P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you everyone. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 5 Transformation. Transformation. Begging for flowers and evaluation at 5 o'clock. Prev chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement system. I want to integrate the template of martial marine Sengoku, peak state without side effects. Next moment, almost without hesitation, Sarutobi Hiruzen gave an order in anticipation. Ding. Ding. Extracting the template of Marine Admiral Sengoku, peak state no side effects. Ding. Ding. The template of martial marine Sengoku, peak state without side effects, has been extracted. Please get ready. Host. Swish. The sound of the system has not fallen, accompanied by a slight breath fluctuation. A terrifying power surged into Sarutobi Hiruzen's body. Immediately afterwards, in the mind of Sarutobi Hiruzen, a man wearing a pair of frog glasses and a long beard tied into a twist appeared, bursting out with a palpitating aura, and immediately transformed into a golden giant, like a Buddha statue. 1 second. A broken bar. 3 seconds. 10 minutes. A broken bar. 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 As time goes by, martial marine Sengoku's various abilities and combat experience flooded into Sarutobi Hiruzen's mind. At the same time, a majestic force has already wrapped Sarutobi Hiruzen's body. The all-round transformation and evolution of Sarutobi Hiruzen's body is being carried out from the outside to the inside. Perhaps it is too strong, making the practice room tremble slightly, and faint cracks appear in the air, which is very terrifying. At this time, if the practice room is not blocked by the barrier, many people in Konoha village will feel that the aura of third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen is gradually increasing. More precisely, it is extremely increasing at a speed visible to the naked eye. Despite this, the abnormal movement of the enchantment in the training room, advertisements still alarm the Anbu ninja guarding around the Hokage building secretly. Swish, swish, swish! Exclamation mark. There was a crackling sound. 6 Anbu ninjas wearing cat face masks hiding in the shadows. A few flashes appeared at the entrance of the training room, and the face under the mask had a look of surprise and uncertainty. What's the situation? Why did the enchantment suddenly vibrate? Could it be that there is something wrong with Master Third Hokage's retreat? Yes. Regarding Master Third Hokage's behavior of retreating and practicing every once in a while, they've already gotten used to it. This time Third Hokage retreated as usual. They didn't take it too seriously. They just hid in the dark and guarded it motionlessly. It turned out well. I don't know how. The enchantment is trembling crazily. It seems to have been attacked from within. This FK makes the 6 Anbu ninjas who guard it a little unbelievable. They are guarding here, coupled with the barrier of the barrier, not to mention the enemy. Even a fly cannot fly in. Now that it is alright, There is a change inside the barrier. If it weren't for the absolute confidence in Master 3rd Hokage's strength, the 6 Anbu ninjas wanted to form seals to remove the barrier, so they went in to have a look. But if so, a gleam of worry still flashed in the eyes of the 6 Anbu ninjas. As the absolute direct descendants of Master 3rd Hokage, they certainly know that since the end of World War II, the invincible ninja hero in their minds who can be called a god has been deteriorating in physical condition and spirit day by day, and began to walk with age downhill. Especially in the last battle, he also suffered serious internal injuries, which led to several years of recuperation, but he still hasn't recovered, and he often coughs and vomits blood. Captain, will there be no problem? Sudden, an Anbu ninja couldn't help asking cautiously. There must be no problem. It should be that Lord 3rd Hokage is practicing some kind of secret technique. Advertisement. After hearing this sentence, the Anbu team leader standing in the middle took a deep breath and said in a deep voice, "We just need to do our own job well." Withdraw. Swish, swish, swish. The voice did not fall. The 6 Anbu ninjas disappeared in place and lurked around the Hokage building silently. But, compared with just now, all 6 Anbu ninjas lifted their spirits. Among them, Anbu's sub-captain had already entered a state of concentration, to ensure that if something went wrong, he would be shaken at the first time. And within the barrier, with the incorporation of the Marine Marshal, Sengoku, peak state no side effects, template, already showing old age, the sideburns and beard have begun to turn white, the old Madara and the wrinkled 3rd Hokage have appeared on the cheeks, the body seems to be gradually getting younger, and there is a rejuvenating taste. If you look carefully, we'll also find that Sarutobi Hiruzen's body seems to be undergoing secondary development. 1 minute ... half an hour ... 3 hours. Finally, after 6 hours, Sarutobi Hiruzen gradually opened his eyes, especially Chojinla, who sensed the incomparable strength in his body and the growing majesty in his body, showed an expression of excitement unabashedly. Cool. It's really cool! Exclamation mark. This. What the hell is the feeling of having power? Incorporating the template of martial marine, Sengoku, peak state no side effects. The blessing effect on his body is more pervert than imagined. His current body is already stronger than in his peak period. Sengoku is worthy of being the marshal of marine. His physical fitness alone has allowed him to achieve a big transformation. In a trance, it actually gave Sarutobi Hiruzen a feeling of being able to blow up everything. Advertisement. As for the clothes on his body, it used to be very loose, but now it is a little small, so I can only wear it casually. System, I want to see my own property panel. After a while, Sarutobi Hiruzen almost got used to the transformed body, and then he moved his mind and gave a silent order, because, after adapting to the template of Marine Marshal Sengoku, peak state without side effects, he felt that the template of Marine Marshal Sengoku, peak state without side effects, did not seem to be fully integrated. Just look at the attribute panel, to make sure. Ding. Host property panel is being generated. Ding. The attribute panel is generated. Host, Sarutobi Hiruzen. Age, 49 years old. Height, 193 centimeters. Original, 163.1 centimeters. Chakra attributes: wind, fire, thunder, earth, water, yin, yang. Ability: 8-1 Fire style, Grandmaster, including Fire style A middle. Hei long Nuo technique, Fire style A middle. Huo quenching, Fire style A middle. Think Xian Ha technique and other 7 perfect ninjutsu mastery. Water style, proficient, wind style, skilled, earth style, skilled, lightning style, skilled. 8-2 compound ninjutsu, proficiency, earth dragon flame flow, lightning water dragon bomb, Ruai stick A middle. Gale, 5 dungeons A middle. Dalian bullet technique, etc. 8-3 seal type, proficient, goal seal, 5 elements unseal, triple seal, 4 red yang formation, etc. 4 times pace type, proficient, summoning A middle. Ape king A middle. Ape demon, Vajra prison wall, hand of ape demon, etc. 8-5 auxiliary, proficient, body flicker technique, shadow clone technique, telescope technique, Watt Shuriken, Shuriken shadow clone, charm detonation, Shuriken giant body technique, etc. 8-6 illusion, skilled. 8-7 armament hockey, advanced, observation hockey, intermediate, conqueror's hockey, intermediate. Note, the grades of conqueror's hockey are elementary, intermediate, advanced, super. Sengoku's template fusion percentage 70. Conqueror's hockey has not been fully unlocked. 8. Marine Admiral Sengoku's template, unlock 70% of fusion. Note, host body enters a weakening period, and forced fusion will cause irreversible side effects. Therefore, host can get rewards by working hard or changing some plots to continue unlocking fusion. 9. Taijutsu, 8 inner gates, entry, Marine 6 styles, Grandmaster, etc. Note, since the ninjutsu learned by host is too complicated and too much, the attribute panel will only show a part for the time being. If you want to view the full version, please continue to issue commands. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you everyone. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 6. This era is called Third Generation Prov. Chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. The attribute panel is not displayed yet. After roughly scanning around, Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled dumbly and couldn't help shaking his head. Joke. As a recognized ninjutsu professor in the ninja world, he can use nearly 1,000 kinds of ninjutsu, and he has honed the 5 major chakra nature transformation, secret biography, taijutsu, and illusion very proficiently. At the same time, he has thoroughly studied all the techniques of Konohagakure. Certainly, will be a lot. Many of them are just getting started. I really don't have so much energy, especially after the end of World War II. I don't have enough energy. There is really no way. When he was young, he stayed up all night to study ninjutsu. The second Amaterasu is full of energy. As he grows older, he can't do it. Staying up all night feels unbearable. Some blood successor limit ninjutsu. He actually studied it. But a clever woman can't cook without rice, and he can't practice at all. For the forbidden technique, he would definitely do it too. But this kind of ninjutsu that kills 1,000 enemies and hurts 800, he usually won't use it easily. There's also 8 inner gates, which he developed together with Might Dai when he was young. However, due to the high requirements on the body, it takes a long time to practice physical skills. So, after the development, Sarutobi Hiruzen hardly practiced, just getting started. There's also the S-class times pace ninjutsu invented by second Hokage Amidal. Senjudo Byairama, Flying Thunder God technique, Nemus. He really doesn't have the talent to practice this space-time ninjutsu. The theory is well studied. In fact, it was a mess when practicing, which resulted in the Flying Thunder God technique not even getting into the door. People are more popular than others, and he hit a wall in his cultivation. So he asked his apprentice Namikaze Minato to practice, but he easily learned how to get started. It is foreseeable that Namikaze Minato will shine again in the third battle. It doesn't matter. Anyway, I have a cheat now. Thinking of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes flickered for a moment, and he began to look carefully at his attribute panel. The former him. Maybe I will feel sad and want to cry. Advertisement. Now that he has cheat, he will only get more and more excited. Wait a minute. Sure enough, it's about the same as I thought. Is Marine Marshal Sengoku's template only unlocking 70% of the fusion? Sudden, as if I saw something, Sarutobi Hiruzen showed an expression of enlightenment. Even if he is as strong as him, he only managed to unlock 70% of the Marine Marshal Sengoku template. As for the reason, it is because his physical fitness is too weak. Huh? Exclamation mark. This body is too weak, compared with those top combat powers in One Piece world. In fact, as third Hokage, he is also very skilled in physical skills, not very weak, at least, in the original Nine Tails Rebellion. Even if the body is no longer in its peak period, it can push Nine Tails out of Konoha village with a stick. Now, the system took into account the tolerance of his body. Only then did Marine Marshal Sengoku's template unlock fusion 70%. But, even if only 70% of the fusion is unlocked, for Sarutobi Hiruzen, there is already a super big transformation in quality. Say something bad. Advertisement. Eating fairy beans. After his body recovered to a small peak, his strength has almost recovered. Now, after unlocking 70% of the Marine Marshal Sengoku template, it's not as simple as 1 + 1 = 3. Instead, 1 + 1 = 5, which instantly changed Sarutobi Hiruzen's physique drastically. His body, which had already begun to weaken with the passage of time, was directly resurrected with full blood, and his vitality and resilience were greatly improved. More importantly, his body has also achieved secondary development, and his height has grown from 163.1 centimeters to 193 centimeters. There's almost no discomfort, it can only be said. The system awakened too timely, and the rewarded Marine Marshal Sengoku template was just what he wanted. Because the body is the foundation of everything, and now that the foundation is laid, his potential will only get bigger and bigger. Even at the age of 49, as long as he has absolute strength, he can still talk about youth madness and walk out of a path. The Kingswang Avenue that belongs exclusively to third Hokage. No, as long as you work hard enough, study development, guard against arrogance and impetuosity. So, this heir can be called third Hokage. Isn't it just changing the plot to get rewards randomly? Now that he has been reborn, as long as he rules Konoha village according to the original style of action, isn't it easy to change some plots? Cool. A moment later, after Sarutobi Hiruzen completely adapted to his body, he couldn't help stretching. I thought I was going to smash the jar, towards a road of blackening guarding Konoha village, which is completely different from the original book. Now with the sudden activation of the system, the situation is reversed in an instant, and all the negative emotions such as bitterness, helplessness, aggrieved, etc., are all swept away. Confidence is at its peak. He, Sarutobi Hiruzen, can still stand up as third after all Hokage! Exclamation mark. At the same time, Sarutobi Hiruzen is also secretly rejoicing. Fortunately, I didn't follow the rules. Just like third Hokage in the original book, advertisement, there is a cause and an effect. Only after changing some plots will there be rewards from the current system. Gulu. But, just at this time, accompanied by several strange voices, Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned, touched his stomach subconsciously, and suddenly felt an extremely strong sense of hunger, as if he had been starved for 4 days and 3 Yoruichi, but in fact, a few hours ago, I just ate something. No, did you eat fairy beans just now? Could it be the power of Xiandu has come to restore the body, or is it because your body has become stronger and you need more food? Sure enough, with the transformation of his body, is he going to become a big eater too? The next moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head, showing a suddenly realized expression. It is a blessing to be able to eat, the body needs more, then he will go out to fill his stomach. As soon as he thought of this, Sarutobi Hiruzen walked to the table in a few steps, picked up the cup, and took a big gulp of wolfberry water. Well, no way, people can't help themselves when they reach middle age. You can only soak wolfberry in the cup! Exclamation mark. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you everyone. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 7 Stunned Danbu, 1 Kneeling for Flowers and Evaluation. Prev chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. In the past, my body was gradually going downhill. He had no choice to maintain health, so I didn't smoke or drink tea, and just drank the health-preserving wolfberry water. Now, his body has undergone a transformation. He decided to continue to recuperate and drink his own health-preserving wolfberry water! Exclamation mark. Go, let's go out. Soon, as hunger grows stronger, Sarutobi Hiruzen picked up the cup and was about to leave the practice room. This time, his retreat practice has been fruitful. Next, it's time to solve some things that were not good or inconvenient to solve before, and work hard to become the strongest Hokage in history. Burst. Before leaving the practice room, Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at the translucent barrier, and was too lazy to remove the seal. Instead, he stretched out his right hand, clenched his fist slightly, and strands of armament hockey shining with metallic luster wrapped around his fist, directly bombarding the barrier. Punched. Boom! Exclamation mark. The mighty fist strikes out. The air immediately made a piercing friction sound. Immediately afterwards, the fist bombarded the translucent barrier with terrifying power and unrivaled power. Rumble! Exclamation mark. Advertisement. A roar resounded. The translucent barrier that could defend against the cage-level ninja's attack failed to last for 3 seconds, and then began to tremble violently. Crack. Crack. This is the sound of cracks visible to the naked eye appearing in the barrier. Boom! A broken bar. 5 seconds later, there was a crisp cracking sound. The translucent barrier was like a balloon. It was shattered by the bombardment, and the powerful force poured out, making the entire Hokage building tremble a few times. Fortunately, at critical moments, Sarutobi Hiruzen controlled his power a little bit, so that it didn't cause a more sensational impact. But if so, the Anbu ninja guarding the Hokage building, as well as some people working in the Hokage building, all showed expressions of surprise. Without any hesitation, a guarding Anbu ninja began to evacuate the people working in the Hokage building, and the other 5 Anbu ninjas stood at the door of the training room on the top floor in a few flashes, entering a fighting state. FK, what happened? The barrier actually exploded from inside. Could it be that Lord Third Hokage was attacked? The enchantment disappeared. Did you perceive the situation inside? Among them, the Anbu sub-captain, with strands of cold sweat already appearing on his forehead under the mask, held kunai in his hand, and asked urgently. I only feel the breath of Lord Third Hokage, but this breath, how could? How? After hearing this sentence, a sentient Anbu ninja, as if he had sensed something unbelievable, there was an unbelievable look on his cheeks, as if he was too horrified, and he even spoke with some hesitation in his tone. Is this still the aura fluctuation of Lord Third Hokage? Advertisement. As Lord Third Hokage's personal guard, he is well aware of Third Hokage's aura fluctuations, especially after being injured at the end of World War II. As time went by, Third Hokage's aura became worse day by day, although it was still very strong. But the fact that his aura was going downhill could not be concealed. Well now, after the barrier was broken, the breath of Third Hokage has changed from the past, full of vigor and vitality, just like a scorching sun, which makes people feel palpitating. But how is this possible? There must be something wrong with Master Third Hokage's retreat practice. Not good. Something is not good. Hearing the perception type Anbu ninja speak intermittently, without knowing what he said, the Anbu team leader gritted his teeth. I was about to open the door and rush in. Boom. But just at this time, Third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen opened the door of the training room from the inside, holding the cup in his hand, and walked out with a calm expression. Seeing this scene, the face of the Anbu team leader froze in an instant, his eyes stared out of their sockets, he opened his mouth wide, and his whole body froze there as if he had been petrified. Not only that, looking at the third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen who came out slowly, the expressions of the remaining 4 Anbu ninjas under the masks also froze together, their eyes filled with ghostly looks, imperceptibly making the atmosphere fall into a very strange status. Immediately afterwards, almost at the same time, the 5 Anbu ninjas couldn't help but let out a scream. Is this still Lord Third Hokage? Advertisement compared with the state, appearance, temperament, etc. before the retreat. Mr. Third Hokage is simply a different person. No, to be more precise, the Third Hokage of today seems to be more proud and majestic than they were at their peak, and the invisible oppressive force makes them even want to kneel unconsciously. If the breath is not right, they all thought that Master Third Hokage had been transferred. Especially, looking around, Lord Third Hokage has grown a lot in height alone. His beard and hair that had started to turn gray have returned to black and bright. The wrinkles on his cheeks and old Madara are gone, just like a young man. Vigorous young people are about the same. Anyway, in a word, Lord Third Hokage no longer looks like a 49-year-old man, but a young man in his early 30s. Ahem. Looking at the 5 Anbu ninjas who were stunned, Sarutobi Hiruzen naturally knew the reason, so he coughed a few times pretending to be calm. No way. After integrating the template of the peak Sengoku, his physique has become stronger, his own image and spirit have also changed, and he must not be able to hide it, so it is better to admit it openly. As for the explanation, he, Third Hokage of Konoha Village, needs no explanation to anyone! Exclamation mark. Dissatisfied, then you can only convince people with reason. Fist is waiting! Exclamation mark. In the past, because of his gradually weakening strength, when doing some things, I still have some scruples and feel powerless. Now. Sorry, I just want to be the strongest Hokage in history, which is completely different from the original book. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you everyone. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 8 Otsutsuki Hands. Second watch begging for flowers and comments. Prev chapter next chapter advertisement. Alright. The next moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at the Anbu ninja who had come to his senses, and said softly, "Is there something wrong?" It's okay. It's nothing. Perceiving the increasingly unfathomable and elusive Third Hokage, the 5 Anbu ninjas suppressed the throbbing in their hearts and hurriedly shook their heads. After all, as Lord Third Hokage's absolutely loyal confidant, they clearly know what to ask and what not to ask. Even if they see some Third Hokage who have rejuvenated and achieved secondary development, they can only consciously suppress their inner confusion. There are many things that they should know, they can know, and they should not know, then just obey the order. Besides, now look at Third Hokage's appearance. It should be a major breakthrough in cultivation, or the successful research of some S-level secret technique, which made the body younger. The stakes are high. This is not something they should know. If it's okay, let the evacuated staff come back and continue working. Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded calmly, waved his hands and ordered, "I'm going to eat something. You don't have to follow me for now." Yes. The 5 Anbu ninjas did not dare to hesitate, and left with a flash of their bodies. Gulu, Gulu. The moment Anbu ninja left, Sarutobi Hiruzen's hungry voice sounded again. "Go eat first, then reorder some Hokage uniforms." Sarutobi Hiruzen frowned, glancing at the tight-fitting black combat uniform that vividly displayed his figure. The quality and elasticity are okay. If you haven't been destroyed, don't worry for now. Then go and fill his stomach first. He is really hungry. In fact, the Nara family in Hokage's office specially made pills for him that blended a variety of precious medicinal materials such as antlers, which can not only fill the stomach, but also maintain the body. But that thing doesn't taste very good, and I really want to vomit if I eat too much. Let's go eat something salty and flavorful! Exclamation mark. Swish, body flicker technique activated. Sarutobi Hiruzen also disappeared in place. Compared with the shaving in Marine 6 styles, he still likes the body flicker technique, which has an instant effect. Advertisement. A broken bar. Konoha Village, the bustling streets are bustling. Even in the afternoon, there are many people shopping, leisure, entertaining, and doing business. At a glance, except for the civilians of Konoha Village, there are also merchants, nobles, etc. from all parts of the ninja world, which together constitute the prosperous picture of Konoha Village, and can prosper and continue to develop for so many years. On the one hand, it is because Konoha Village has a superior geographical location, is located in the hub of transportation, connects the north-south arteries, and has rich natural resources, which makes Konoha Village gather a large number of talents and resources. On the other hand, after winning the first Ninja Time War and the second Ninja Time War, Konoha Village has made the whole ninja world famous, gradually established his position as the #1 ninja village in the ninja world, invisibly. There are a lot more rewarding tasks, especially in the Kingdom of the Wind. Most of the rewarding tasks are posted to Konoha Village. Reason? Of course Konoha Village is strong enough. The success rate of completing the reward is the highest, and the speed is also the fastest, which is well received by many employers. The most important thing, after the victory in the Second Ninja Time War, Konoha Village has entered a heyday that is recognized by all ninja villages in the entire ninja world. As the third Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen has attracted much attention, and has become a ninja with a great reputation, and his power and prestige have reached a peak. So, with such an existence like a Shinji high, Konoha Village has also risen accordingly. In addition, since Sarutobi Hiruzen took office, with the help of Konoha Village's strong strength and heritage, it has vigorously developed commercial trade, which has also imperceptibly promoted the prosperity of Konoha Village. And, at this time, inside a ramen restaurant on a commercial street, because it was already past the meal time, the ramen restaurant was empty and there were almost no diners. It's finally time to rest for a while. After Konoha Village has established a firm foothold, let's recruit a few apprentices. I saw a young man in his 20s who was dressed in a white chef uniform and a chef hat with the word Ikiraku on his head. After wiping his sweat with a tissue, he showed an expression of excitement and joy. Come to Konoha Village to set up shop. It was really his wisest and smartest choice. It's only been open for less than 3 months. Ikiraku Ramen Restaurant already has a certain reputation. Advertisement, especially when it's mealtime. If you want to eat a bowl of ramen, you have to queue up. Now he has to take a good rest, getting ready for dinner tonight. Konoha Village is really prosperous, and only in such a peaceful environment can I feel at home and sell ramen safely. I poured myself a glass of water with my hand, and after taking a few sips, I squinted my eyes and muttered to myself with longing, be bigger and stronger, and create greater glories. One day Ikiraku Ramen Restaurant will become Konoha Village one of the best snack bars. Yes, before opening a ramen restaurant in Konoha Village, Handa and his father were selling noodles in a small country. Because of the war, that small country perished, and they went to other ninja villages and countries, but the business environment is really bad. Sometimes when a store opens in the morning, someone will come to collect protection fees at noon, or it may open for a few months, and the country falls into war and collapses. Anyway, all kinds of problems met, especially in some small countries, small ninja villages. Peace is an extravagant hope. Before he came to Konoha Village, he did not expect that Konoha Village would be so easy to do business in a peaceful and stable place. In addition, the ramen he made tasted good, so it gradually developed. Father, you are right, Konoha Village is the best choice for our Ikiraku Ramen. It's a pity you didn't get to see this scene. But, at this very moment, hitting the hand seemed to have thought of something, a gloomy look flashed across his cheeks. On the way to Konoha, encountered war, his father died protecting him. Father, don't worry, I will pass on the Ikiraku Ramen Restaurant well. After a few seconds, Handa took a deep breath, his slightly narrowed eyes were full of determination. He believes, just stay in Konoha Village well, Ikiraku Ramen Tuba will definitely be made by him and passed down as a family business. Boss, here are 5 large bowls of ramen, please hurry up. Suddenly, 5 garrison ninjas wearing black combat uniforms, green JA ring and mail armor, and Uchiha clan emblems embroidered on their shoulders walked in and yelled proudly. Okay. Seeing that it was a ninja from the Konoha security force, he took a sip of water from the cup with his hand and walked towards the back kitchen with a smile on his face. Business again, or the ninja of the Konoha garrison after patrolling. Actually, advertisement. The business environment of Konoha Village is so good, it still has a lot to do with the ninjas of these Konoha garrison troops. No matter who is causing trouble, the Konoha police force will arrest the troublemaker without any hesitation. Even some nobles, some direct descendants of some families, and some ninjas with backgrounds are not afraid, and they are not afraid of offending people at all. And in the days when Ikiraku Ramen opened, seeing the ninjas from the Konoha security force come to eat, he was already ready to not charge money and pay favor fees. But I didn't expect that the ninjas of the Konoha security force would have to pay for their meals. If the shopkeeper does not take the money, will be arrested for looking down on the Uchiha clan. Anyway, in the words of the Konoha garrison ninja, the proud Uchiha clan disdain to take advantage of others, let alone accept favors. They just want to maintain the law and order and stability in Konoha Shinaba Village with due diligence to prove the Uchiha clan. For this, I've been depressed for a while. Such an impartial, and unafraid Konoha garrison would offend many people, wouldn't it? So, although the ninjas of the Konoha guard force, sometimes he doesn't speak well, and his personality is quite stubborn and conceited, and he looks down upon others proudly, but I am still grateful from the bottom of my heart. It is not the unique character of the Uchiha clan. The law and order and stability of Konoha Village will definitely not be as good as they are now, and they have been corrupted and assimilated long ago. Such a character is also a double-edged sword. It will invisibly cause the ninjas of the Konoha security force to offend many people. It's okay when they gain power, but once they lose power, nothing more. I'm just a ramen seller. What are you thinking so much about? Konoha's largest family, Uchiha family, will lose power? Judging from the situation inside Konoha Village, The Konoha garrison may only be done by the Uchiha clan, is the best choice. Besides with the famous third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen in charge, there is no need to worry so much at all. Forget about it. Make my ramen well. P.S. I don't know if there are any readers who read it greatly. I beg with tears. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Minks and Thank you all. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 9. I still like your unruly looks. Kneeling for flowers and comments at midnight. The other side. Master Fugaku. This is our daily work. Isn't it cruel? We only need to patrol the village every day, and we can basically wait to get off work. Ha ha ha. Thanks to the efforts of our security forces, the security of Konoha village ranks second, and no one in other ninja villages dares to rank first. The ramen here is delicious, and I can pack a few to take home later. I saw a few ninjas from the security forces chatting with each other while drinking tea. For them, the work of the Konoha security force is very easy. The main job is to maintain the law and order and stability inside the Konoha Shinaba village, responsible for formulating the rules of the village, strengthening and maintaining the order and law and order of Konohagakure, and arresting criminals, ninjas, etc. Especially after 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen came to power, giving more support and resources to the Konoha garrison force virtually makes the Konoha garrison even more powerful. Actually, even the Uchiha clan didn't think of it. 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, selected by 2nd Hokage Senju Tobirama, after taking the position, did not deliberately target the Uchiha family. That's right. As the largest family recognized by Konoha village today, many ninjas of the Uchiha family know that the Uchiha clan is not welcomed by 2nd Hokage Senju Tobirama. Even the establishment of Konoha police force is actually to integrate and guide the power of Uchiha, and put a curse on the Uchiha clan. It has no good intentions, but for the glory of the Uchiha clan, even knowing that this is a pit, the Uchiha family still jumped down resolutely. Finally, with the death of 2nd Hokage Senju Tobirama, in order to eliminate the estrangement between the races, the Senju family took the initiative to break up into parts and integrate into the larger group. The Uchiha family did nothing, and Line became the first family of Konoha. What's more, the gratifying thing is, 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen also entrusted the Konoha garrison with important tasks. So, in this situation, as Konohagakure enters its heyday, the fame and power of the Uchiha clan reach their peak in Konoha. It's really easy. After hearing these words, Uchiha Fugaku nodded with a smile, and said with some emotion, sure enough, I graduated early, and joining my own security force is a wise choice. That's for sure. Hearing this, one of the ninjas of the security force smiled lightly and said, after you have practiced in the security force for a while, you will know how powerful and famous our security force is in Konoha village. Haha, a broken bar. Another ninja from the garrison laughed proudly, and said, Master Fugaku, remember, apart from Anbu who is directly under Hokage, our garrison has the greatest authority. Be careful what you say. Hearing the undisguised voices of the two companions, the team leader, Uchiha Miki frowned, and said in a deep voice, our Uchiha clan has already stood at a peak. You should keep a low profile when you talk and do things, so as not to be caught by others. Advertisement. What are you afraid of? Even Lord 3rd Hokage supports us, we have nothing to fear. We Uchiha do things, we don't need to be low-key. The ninjas of the garrison suddenly became a little unconvinced. The status and prestige of the Uchiha clan today is all due to themselves. Why? Still can't say it? Say something bad. They are the largest family in Konoha village, the Uchiha family. Why should they be afraid of being caught by others? Well, Uchiha Miki sighed, and Uchiha Fugaku looked at each other, showing helpless expressions on each other. Affected by the blood inheritance limit, the personality of most ninjas of the Uchiha clan is like this. The stronger the strength, the easier it is to fall into paranoia. There's really nothing you can do to change that, including themselves. Sometimes when they are a little excited, they can easily go to extremes in doing things. Ramen is here. But, just at this time, he brought 5 large bowls of ramen with his hands and put them on the table, squinting his eyes slightly, and said with a slight smile, 5, please use it slowly. Eat first. Uchiha Fugaku looked at the delicious ramen, and couldn't help but whet his appetite. He didn't bother to continue the topic just now, so he picked up his chopsticks and wanted to eat. Patrol all afternoon. His stomach was already a little hungry, and he could finally have a full meal. Swish, sudden, there was a crackling sound. The body of Sarutobi Hiruzen appeared in the Ikiraku ramen restaurant, and he glanced around. When he saw the untouched ramen in front of Uchiha Fugaku, he ordered directly, you 5, hurry up and let the old man eat first. Correct, a broken bar. After saying this, Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at the hand that was about to go back to the back kitchen, squinted his eyes slightly, and said, make me another 200 bowls of ramen, as fast as possible. What did you say? Why should I let you eat first? Who do you think you are, dare to order us in this tone? Upon hearing this sentence, the ninjas of the three guards with their backs facing Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly became a little angry. First come, first served. When their Konoha garrison troops are so shameless, advertisement someone snatches even a bowl of noodles, whether it is tolerable or unbearable. This guy who speaks out loud must be arrested and educated. This is this, well it seems to be Sarutobi Hiruzen-sama. As for Akai Fugaku who was facing Sarutobi Hiruzen, Akayamiki was very angry at the beginning, but, seeing the sudden appearance of third Hokage, the whole person was dumbfounded, showing a look like a ghost, ? I saw someone suddenly appearing and saying that, they were still wondering who was so short-eyed, but the voice sounded a little familiar, and after a careful look, they also found something wrong. The person who came seems to be like third Hokage, especially Akai Fugaku. Some time ago, he applied for early graduation and was summoned by third Hokage himself. In his mind, he still had third Hokage's thin body, a sick face, and a kind face. Sub-Captain, Akayamiki is similar. He has also seen the third Hokage, and the Hokage rock, which represents the third Hokage, has to be seen several times a day. Invisibly, the appearance of the third Hokage has penetrated into the soul and carved into the bone marrow. Looks like third Hokage. But it is completely different from the previous image. It is like two different people. The previous third Hokage was short in stature, like a monkey. His beard and hair began to turn gray, and there were visible wrinkles on his cheeks. The third Hokage in front of him is not only tall and mighty, but his beard and hair are no longer gray, and there are no wrinkles on his cheeks, as if he is 7 or 8 years younger! Hahi, a broken bar. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't care so much. He stepped forward a few steps and said slowly, Fugaku, how long has it been? Why don't you even know me? Master third Hokage, you eat first, I'm not hungry yet. The voice did not fall. The young Akai Fugaku stood up hastily, suppressing the panic and apprehension in his heart, and said cautiously, I just didn't realize it, you have really changed too much. Is it really Lord third Hokage? Hearing the words of Akai Fugaku, Akayamiki, who had some doubts at first, stared directly out of the eye sockets. Without any hesitation, he stood up from the chair. As for the three ninjas from the Akai clan who shouted angrily just now, they also saw Sarutobi Hiruzen walking in front of them, and they were even more horrified and almost broke their jaws all over the floor. Cool and cruel. What's the situation? It's time for dinner. Third Hokage actually came to eat noodles at a Kairaku ramen restaurant. Also met them. What kind of luck is this? Don't say what is tolerable or unbearable. Facing third Hokage, no matter what you have to endure. Besides, it's just a few bowls of ramen. Let third Hokage eat it first. But it's incredible. The changes in third Hokage are too big, right? Needless to say about the height, he has become much younger. He will soon be 50 years old. Could it be that he can grow again? Alright. Although the ninjas of the Akai clan will become more extreme and arrogant as their strength becomes stronger, it doesn't mean that they are idiots and fools. Third Hokage has to eat noodles first. After all, this is Hokage, the undisputed boss of Konoha village, the immediate boss of the Akai clan. Third Hokage. Advertisement. This is getting younger. Is it rejuvenating? At this time, Handa's eyes, which had been squinting slightly all the time, also widened suddenly, looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen full of horror and disbelief. Yes, Sarutobi Hiruzen also visited a Kairaku ramen several times. One time, while eating ramen, he coughed a few times and spit out a few mouthfuls of blood, which shocked him a lot. Afraid that Sarutobi Hiruzen vomited blood after eating ramen. At last, only then did he know that third Hokage suffered an internal injury in World War II, and even Tsunade couldn't heal it, and it turned into a chronic disease. The vomiting of blood was just a false alarm. So, to the supreme leader of Konoha village, Sarutobi Hiruzen, he had a deep memory, but he didn't expect that after not seeing it for more than half a month, third Hokage seemed to have achieved reverse growth, and the changes were too great. Wait a minute. 200 bowls of ramen? Can Master Hokage finish eating? No, I'll do it quickly. Sudden, it seems as if he thought of something. Immediately, he was shocked, his wide-open eyes narrowed slightly, and he turned around and went to the back kitchen to make ramen. Again, he is just a ramen seller. No matter what transformation happened to third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, it is none of his business. Not to mention, third Hokage went to a Kairaku ramen to eat noodles, and ordered 200 bowls. This is an advertisement for door-to-door delivery. You don't even need to think about it. With the change of third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, the Kairaku ramen tube will become completely famous. No Rinnegan, rolly eyes, Denseigan. What at Satsuki Kairaku, Senju Kairaku are all lies. This is just a mediocre ramen seller. And at the moment when I opened my eyes wide, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't show any expression changes on the surface, but he sighed in his heart. Sure enough, at Satsuki Kairaku was just a meme. The first few times I came to eat ramen at the Kairaku ramen restaurant that has not been opened for a long time, on the one hand, I wanted to taste a Kairaku ramen, And on the other hand, I wanted to observe secretly to see if the handmade ramen is a hidden boss. Now it seems that he was worrying too much. He was just squinting his eyes, just an ordinary person selling ramen, that's all. As for the picture circulated on the internet before time travel, Uncle Ikaraku controls Aoet Satsuki Kaguya, Kaguya controls Akai Madara, Madara controls Obito controls pain, just have fun. Isn't the tone you just said very aggressive? Next moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at Okai Fugaku and the others, and said softly, come back, I still like your rebellious appearance just now. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you everyone. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 10 Big Stomach King Sarutobi Hiruzen Prev Chapter Next chapter advertisement. Isn't the tone you just said very aggressive? Next second, Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at Okai Fugaku and the others, and said softly, come back, I still like your rebellious appearance just now. Immediately, regardless of the embarrassing expressions of Okai Fugaku and the other five, ready to start cooking. No way, really hungry, get rid of the 5 bowls of ramen in front of you first. Actually, after leaving the office, Sarutobi Hiruzen was thinking of where to eat. At last, I still chose the Ikaraku ramen restaurant that has just opened, good luck too. As soon as I arrived at the noodle shop, I saw a ninja from the Konoha security force trying to move his chopsticks. Then, I'm sorry, Okai Fugaku and others are still young and can't grasp it. Let him, the old man, eat first! Exclamation mark. As for being upset, Sarutobi Hiruzen is not worried at all. Joke, after succeeding 3rd Hokage, because of his own strength, he treats all major blood succession families in Konoha village equally. As long as he abides by his rules, everything is easy to talk about. Even the evil Okaya in the mouth of 2nd Hokage Senjudo Byairama, he didn't target it on purpose. Advertisement instead, they gave support to the Konoha garrison, which was a decision that went against the will of the 2nd generation project. In short, compared with 2nd Hokage Senjudo Byairama, he 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen has done a good job, and most of the Akaya ninjas of the Akaya clan can't find any faults. On the other hand, the current Akaya family is about to raise their tails to the sky, and their hearts are swollen and they are not satisfied with the status quo. That being the case, let's kill 2 birds with 1 stone, and I happen to be hungry too, so I'll eat the ramen you ordered in front of you, to dampen your vigor and prestige. It's a little bit of beating. Otherwise, in Konoha village no one holds back. The Akaya family, which is better developed than in the original book, will have big problems sooner or later under the influence of the blood succession limit. Certainly, it's just beating. He will not deliberately target the Akaya family. In fact, if Cheat hadn't awakened, as his body became weaker and his strength continued to decline, he would eventually find a way to restrict the Akaya clan and keep the Akaya clan within the scope of his control. Now, don't worry at all. No matter how the Akaya clan develops, even if there is another ninja god Akai Madara, he is confident that he can suppress it. In a word, many hidden problems in the past are not a big problem now. As long as the strength is strong enough, the fist is hard enough, any difficulty will be easily solved. As for why it is called handmade 200 bowls of ramen, it is not because in the ramen eating contest held by Ikaraku Ramen in the original book, Shino ate 18 bowls, Kiba ate 20 bowls, Naruto ate 30 bowls, Yamato ate 31 bowls, and Hinata ate 30 bowls. I ate 46 bowls. Since little Hinata can eat 46 bowls, it's normal for him to eat 200 bowls after his physique has undergone a super transformation, right? Maybe 200 bowls are not enough? Well, a broken bar advertisement. After hearing this sentence, Akaya Fugaku, Uchiha Miki and other 5 ninjas opened their mouths. They wanted to say something, but they couldn't say anything. Usually, when facing others, the Akaya clan can be rebellious, arrogant, and conceited, but they really don't have any confidence when facing Lord 3rd Hokage. If they dare to be rebellious, they may be trained badly. So, Uchiha Miki and the others could only stand there respectfully, lowering their heads and not even daring to breathe. The taste is okay. But Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't mean to be polite. He picked up the delicious ramen bowl and started eating. I have to say that the taste of Ikaraku ramen is really good, and he was still hungry, so he ate 3 bowls in one go, and then took the remaining 2 bowls, and started to eat big mouthfuls. At the same moment, freshly made ramen here. Knowing that Master 3rd Hokage wants to eat 200 bowls of ramen, the handmade ramen is also fully fired, which speeds up the speed of making ramen. Soon, then another 10 bowls of delicious ramen came out. Good. Sarutobi Hiruzen put down the bowl of ramen without further ado, picked up the ramen that was served just now, and ate one bite after another. So, in this situation, 15 bowls, 30 bowls, 50 bowls, 100 bowls, a broken bar. With handmade ramen constantly served, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't stop, just started eating bowl after bowl. The number of empty bowls continued to increase. The 5 guard ninjas including Akai Fugaku and Akai Miki were dumbfounded for a while, so much so that their gazes towards Lord Third Hokage changed. What's the situation? Why does Third Hokage-sama eat so much? A real big eater? Advertisement? Could it be that? After the Third Hokage-sama became younger, his appetite also increased. After more than 10 seconds, seeing that Master Third Hokage was still eating bowl after bowl of drier ice, Akai Fugaku and Akai Miki looked at each other, and each could see the surprise and uncertainty in their respective eyes. Now that Lord Third Hokage has changed so much, isn't Konoha going to shake again? And, judging from the fact that Third Hokage-sama is in a training suit that is stretched open and that he is devouring ramen noodles, it is very likely that he will be released. Things are getting serious. The next moment, the young Akai Fugaku and Akai Miki were startled, and immediately realized the seriousness of the matter. As the third Hokage of Konoha Village, even the slightest change in Master Sarutobi Hiruzen's physical condition will affect Konoha Village and the major blood succession families. Now third Hokage should have successfully studied and practiced some kind of secret technique to make my body has undergone earth-shaking changes. If it's just a simple look younger and a little taller, maybe nothing yet, but once even the strength is restored to the time when Master Third Hokage was young, then just thinking about it makes one's scalp tingle, and one can't help oneself. Because, after the second ninja time war ended and third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen was injured, Konoha Village has vaguely heard that a candidate for the fourth Hokage will be elected in case of emergency. Especially as time goes by, as Sarutobi Hiruzen's body and strength went from bad to worse, this voice seemed to be getting more and more loud. Regarding this whether it is the Uchiha clan, the Hyuga clan and other blood successor limit families, or the elders Shimura Dance A-Ring, Utatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura, etc., they are all keeping silent, just waiting for the reaction of third Hokage. It's good now. This time, Master Third Hokage, who practiced in closed doors, achieved a transformation. It directly disrupted everything. The so-called election of a candidate for the fourth Hokage, I am afraid it will be completely empty talk. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you everyone. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 11 Calculation. The Rise of Ikiraku Ramen. Begging for flowers and evaluation at 5 o'clock. Prev chapter. Next chapter advertisement. My lord father, it seems that your plan is going to fail. I don't know how. A wisp of cold sweat appeared on Akai Fugaku's forehead, and he panicked involuntarily. As the young master of the Uchiha clan, the next patriarch of the Uchiha clan, who has almost been appointed by default, he may be young, however, under the influence of his ears and eyes, his political sense is not bad at all. These years, under the leadership of third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen-sama, the Uchiha clan is developing rapidly, and some ninjas of the Uchiha clan have begun to feel inflated and arrogant. In this situation, began to pursue more political demands. In short, the Konoha garrison could no longer satisfy the appetites of the expansive Uchiha ninjas, and they set their sights on future fourth Hokage candidates. In the beginning, there were very few ninjas of the Uchiha family, but as time went by, it had gradually increased to a quarter, so that even his father, Uchiha Futon, was slightly affected, and a broken bar third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen was injured and gradually going downhill, but it became the straw that broke the camel's back. Regarding this, he once had a quarrel with his father, Uchiha Futon. Without the support of Lord Third Hokage, the Uchiha clan could not have developed so well. Instead, he was taught a serious lesson by his father, saying that he was still too young to understand the dangers of politics. 1 yard is 1 yard. Third Hokage is very friendly to the Uchiha clan, and the Uchiha clan is very grateful. But the Uchiha clan just want to get back what belongs to them and compete for more interests reasonably. Konoha garrison can no longer. It embodies the status of the Uchiha clan in Konoha village. Wait a minute. This. Isn't this what third Hokage planned? Sudden. Just at this time, Uchiha Fugaku seemed to have thought of something. His body became stiff all of a sudden. As soon as third Hokage left the customs, he went to the Ikiraku ramen restaurant to eat noodles, and happened to meet them. 1 or 2 was a coincidence, and the 3 were probably intentional, right? Could it be that by eating ramen noodles, they are trying to beat them on the surface, but actually warn the Uchiha clan? Could it be that they want to beat the Uchiha clan through us? Next to him, as a member of the conservative Uchiha clan, Uchiha Miki also realized something. His heart tensed up a little, and he had an ominous premonition. Not fragrant anymore. So, in this situation, Uchiha Fugaku, Uchiha Miki looked at third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was eating ramen happily, like ants on a hot pot, and was very anxious, and didn't know what to say. It was really the mind of Lord Third Hokage. They guess not transparent, can only try to figure out the worst aspect. Have you finally reacted? At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen, which was 1/3 full, glanced at Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Miki, who were fidgeting, shook their heads inadvertently, and began to eat slowly again. I was too hungry just now, so I was in a hurry to eat. Now, I have to chew slowly and have a good taste. Advertisement and ... In order to keep him from getting tired of eating, almost every 20 bowls of ramen, handmade to change a taste. Speaking of this, I have to say that the level of handmade ramen is really good. As we all know, a good bowl of ramen, the noodles or the bones, and the soup is the soul. Ikaraku ramen not only achieves the strength of ramen, but also the rich and white original soup. It is full of fragrance, which makes the mouth fragrant. As for the restless Sakai Fugaku and Sakai Miki, keep waiting! Joke. As Hokage of Konoha village, he knows many things. As long as you don't overdo it, just turn a blind eye. Among them, one of the things that left him speechless the most was that as his body and strength gradually weakened, a voice suddenly came out from Konoha village saying that he would elect a fourth Hokage candidate in case of emergency. It means the same thing inside and out. The ninja of the second ninja time war, third Hokage is old and has no energy. It's time to abdicate. He, who is behind the scenes, Sarutobi Hiruzen, is like a mirror in his heart. After all, those who have ideas about the fourth Hokage candidates, just those few people, the patriarch of the Uchiha clan who happened to develop to a small peak, Uchiha Fushin, also have some ideas. In the past, when his strength and body were declining, he put all his mind on cultivation, so he didn't bother to pay attention to it. Anyway, whoever dared to go too far would be unlucky. Now, the body has undergone transformation and the fists have hardened, so of course the muscles must be properly illuminated. In case those guys don't know how to do the right thing, put all their minds on fighting for power and profit, and make small moves on the back all day long, making Konoha village seem calm on the surface, but undercurrents are surging in the dark. Fourth Hokage candidate? If there is no accident, there will be basically no more from today. Cheats unexpected awakening. He, Sarutobi Hiruzen, is destined to become the One Piece. No, that's wrong. He is destined to live to be the most powerful Hokage man in history. Soon, he brought out the last 10 bowls of ramen panting with his hands, wiped the sweat from his forehead, stared numbly at the empty bowls piled up one by one. 190 bowls. Mrs. Third Hokage has already eaten a total of 190 bowls of ramen. After eating the last 10 bowls of ramen, there will be a total of 200 bowls. No, and 5 bowls of ramen by Uchiha Fugaku et al. In fact, it is 205 bowls. This makes the hands feel unreal. When did Master Third Hokage eat so much, and he ate so many bowls of ramen without blushing? What is the rhythm that scares people to death? Master Third Hokage, 200 bowls of ramen have already been served. Do you need more? The next moment, out of caution, Sarutobi still took a deep breath and asked cautiously, "No need." Sarutobi Hiruzen picked up a bowl of noodles, felt a little fullness in his stomach like a melting pot, shook his head and said, "Eating too much is not good for health. Eating a 6-point full is good for you." About there. After eating so much, are you only 60% full? Advertisement FK. Isn't this incredible? Could it be that Third Hokage has become taller and younger, and his appetite has also increased, but this ... is the increase too much? The voice did not fall, hid by hand. Uchiha Fugaku, Uchiha Miki and the others couldn't help showing terrified expressions. Shocked in their hearts, they looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen like they were looking at some terrible monster. What's the situation? After eating 205 bowls of ramen, you're only 60% full. Third Hokage Master Sarutobi Hiruzen may have eaten too much, so is the king of big stomachs, and boo will come to pay later. At this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't care so much. After eating the last 10 bowls of ramen, he slowly got up, said something to his hands, and immediately glanced at the civilians who had begun to gather outside the ramen restaurant. Sham disappeared in place. Yes, as Hokage of Konoha village, he became younger, and he ate ramen here, and even ate 200 bowls in a shocking manner. No, I ate 205 bowls of ramen. It has unknowingly attracted the attention of some people, and people around are gathering at the Ikaraku ramen restaurant one after another. If you stay here again, I am afraid that the entire Konoha village civilians will gather here. It is better to withdraw first. Besides, this time he made a public appearance with a transformed posture. Do you think Konoha village will shake you up? Commoners and businessmen may not have much reaction, but the blood-inherited families, the elders of Konoha village, Sanin, etc., may all be horrified. Bullet, already flying. Okay, broken bar. Hand nodded hastily, and when he wanted to say something, swish. There was a crackling sound. Third Hokage has disappeared in place. Only the 205 empty bowls that were so empty that even the soup was gone proved that Third Hokage had just arrived. Call. After Third Hokage left, Uchiha Fugaku, Uchiha Miki and other Konoha garrison ninjas could not help but breathe a sigh of relief, wiped the cold sweat from their foreheads, and left in a hurry without any hesitation Ikaraku ramen restaurant. Advertisement. They are no longer in the mood to eat noodles. This latest intelligence news must be brought back to the Konoha garrison. No way, Third Hokage seems to have eaten 205 bowls of ramen. FK. are the ramen here so delicious? Can you eat so much? You read that right? Third Hokage has grown taller, and looks handsome even when he's younger. Not long after, seeing that third Hokage and the ninjas of the Konoha Guard are gone, some civilians and businessmen outside the ramen restaurant walked as far as they could one after another, with expressions of disbelief, doubt and curiosity on their cheeks. What's the situation? Doesn't third Hokage have changed too much? Even being able to eat 205 bowls of ramen is simply scary. Boss, bring me a bowl of ramen. I want a bowl too. 2 bowls. I want to eat 2 bowls. Can't figure out why. Some of them didn't even bother to think about it. How can the aloof Lord Third Hokage do things that ordinary people like them can guess? It's better to order a small meal and eat a kairaku ramen, just to see how delicious it is to let Third Hokage eat 205 bowls of ramen at one time. Good broken bar. Come right now. Come right now. After hearing these words, Ben was still cleaning up the empty bowls, felt his tired arms, his heart trembled fiercely, and suddenly felt like crying again, but without tears. The troubles of happiness really came too suddenly. He still worries about how to make a kairaku ramen bigger and stronger, and create a brilliant. Now there is no need to worry, because third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen's amazing deed of eating 200 bowls of 05 ramen is destined to make a kairaku ramen restaurant famous throughout Konoha village, and even the entire ninja world. A kairaku ramen. The rise is unstoppable. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you everyone. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 12 Danzo, Sarutobi Hiruzen is a traitor. Pref chapter. Next chapter advertisement route, also known as Anbu Training Department. In the original, the routes are long-standing with the tacit approval of third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. In general, the team members are directly recruited by Danzo, and the selected objects are people with special abilities, and people with darkness in their hearts, etc. But after entering the roots and becoming the so-called roots, they have no name, no feelings, no past, no future, only mission in their hearts, feed on the darkness, and support the big tree of Konoha village. Certainly, in order to make the root the most direct and effective sword for Konoha, Roots team members need to accept the training of self-elimination. In order to keep secrets, they will also be imbued with a spell, until they are brainwashed by Root's will and completely become pawns for carrying out tasks. And now, because of Sarutobi Hiruzen's arbitrary style of acting, a lot of plots have been changed, and even the Roots have been greatly affected. Danzo is so aggrieved that he wants to cry. A broken bar. At this time, west of Konoha village, a secret underground area, here is the base of the Root organization. Unlike Hanbu, the Roots are generally located underground, implying that the roots of the tree will be deep into the darkness. Damn, really damn. Sarutobi Hiruzen, you are an unreasonable bastard and an idiot, and you act your own way in your own right. Advertisement. Second Hokage Master Senjuto Bairama chose you as third Hokage, which is an extremely wrong choice. Konoha village will fall from peak to trough in your hands. Sarutobi Hiruzen of the dog days, one day you will pay the price in blood. Why didn't second generation choose me as Hokage? In the deepest part of the root base, within an office, future Shinobi darkness, Shimura Den's A-ring is there with an ugly face of impotent rage. Boom! Exclamation mark. A broken voice sounded. Maybe it was too aggrieved and out of breath. Shimura Den's A-ring picked up the teacup on the table and slammed it on the ground. These years, he didn't know how many teacups he broke. The initiator of all this is third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. From the beginning, he takes Sarutobi Hiruzen as a good gay friend, and he thinks there is a constant bond between the two. But I didn't expect Sarutobi Hiruzen to treat him as a fool from the beginning to the end. Especially after taking the position of third Hokage, many policies of second Hokage were abolished, and they did not target the major blood successor families. Instead, they began to support the major blood successor boundary families, even the evil Okai family called by the second generation project, and the Senju family. Even if they were broken up into parts, they did not want to target them. Strangling, even if Jinbu wants to secretly experiment with some ninjas from the Senju clan to see if he can get wood style out, it is not allowed. In a word, Sarutobi Hiruzen relies on himself as third Hokage. He can do whatever he wants, and he is arrogant, and he doesn't think about the future of Konoha village at all. Even more exasperating, advertisement. The rights of their elders have also been severely compressed, whether it is the top advisor, Midokado Hamura in charge of the administration department, or Udatane Koharu in the finance department, and him as the head of the root. It seems that one person is under one person and above 10,000 people, claiming to have the same strength, status and prestige as the third Hokage. Actually, not only is the strength not comparable, but the status is also very different, and the prestige is not as good as 1/3 of Sarutobi Hiruzen, and there is not much real power. As the top executives of Konoha village, F4 number 3, They were wronged, suffocated, and full of anger. They wished to deprive Sarutobi Hiruzen of his Hokage position, trampled Sarutobi Hiruzen on the ground, wanton ridicule and need. And when there is a dispute, when they want to vote with a show of hands and decide right or wrong by the number of people, Sarutobi Hiruzen simply turned his face and used one vote to decide, completely refusing to give the three of them any face. The three of them joined forces to force Sarutobi Hiruzen into submission. Joining their Konoha high-level trio directly annoyed Sarutobi Hiruzen, and even Anbu entered a fighting state, which seemed to start after a disagreement. Shimura Dan's A-Ring, Utatane Koharu, and Midokado Hamura, who are one of the high-level executives, are so embarrassed that they have been aggrieved and panicked all these years. They're obviously the high-level executives of Konoha village, but they seem to be living under the shadow of third Hokage. Am I angry? I knew that I should have been braver at the beginning, showing the courage to sacrifice and self-sacrifice, maybe. The third Hokage is not Sarutobi Hiruzen's turn, it is definitely mine. I do not know how long it has been. Shimura Dan's A-Ring's uncertain cheeks flashed a few strands of regret. One wrong step, because of my own cowardice. Let Sarutobi Hiruzen gain power and become third Hokage, suppressing them breathless. At the beginning, at the end of the First Ninja World War, King Kakuyukaku suddenly set off a coup d'A copyright tat at the alliance ceremony between Raikage and Hokage. The two used the power of Six Paths Ninja and Nine Tails Chakra to make second Raikage and second Hokage after being seriously wounded to the point of death. Second Hokage was pursued by a Golden Horn force of about 20 along with his subordinates Sarutobi Hiruzen, Midokado Hamura, Utatane Koharu, Shimura Dan's A-Ring, Akamuki Takakes, and Ukiya Kagami. Advertisement. And to escape capture, it is necessary to let one of them act as a bait to lure the enemy to ensure that other teammates have time to escape smoothly. At that critical moment of deciding Hokage's ownership, although Danzo still wanted to volunteer to be the bait, he didn't say it because of timidity the moment he blurted it out. The results of it? Sarutobi Hiruzen stepped forward and offered to make himself the bait. In the end. Second Hokage, who was seriously injured, decided to act as the bait himself for the future of Konohagakure. Before leaving, he also expressed his extreme approval of Sarutobi Hiruzen's behavior, and simply ordered Sarutobi Hiruzen to become the next generation of Hokage. Regret. A broken bar. Every time I think of this, Shimura Dan's A-Ring felt extremely regretful in his heart, so at that time, he can take the initiative to stand up as bait. Maybe second Hokage will let him be third Hokage, whereas Sarutobi Hiruzen. However, Shimura Dan's A-Ring didn't know that Sarutobi Hiruzen took the initiative to act as a bait, and it was only when second Hokage Senjuto Bairama made up his mind to sacrifice himself as a bait. If he offered to sacrifice himself as a bait, perhaps Senjuto Bairama would simply nod in agreement. Then there is only one consequence. Shimura Dan's A-Ring died. The plot changed again. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you everyone. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 13 Konoha F3 Prov Chapter. Next chapter advertisement. Sarutobi, why don't you play your cards according to common sense? As third Hokage, for the future of Konoha village, you should be upright, approachable, without any shortcomings, and become a tall existence called the light of Konoha village, and I will become the shadow hidden behind you to help you deal with some problems. Dark trouble. You are third Hokage, and I am the man standing behind Hokage. In this way, one front and one back, one bright and one dark, with two swords combined, will definitely create a new era of Konoha that belongs to us alone. Why don't you understand me, support me, pamper me. Boom! Exclamation mark. There seems to be some anger. Shimura Dan's A-Ring, who had already calmed down, patted the table with an ugly face. Nemus, Sarutobi Hiruzen of Dog Day, just grab his Hokage position and forget it, not allowing him to live a comfortable and satisfying life. At the beginning, when the roots were established, Shimura Dan's A-Ring still had some joy, because in his plan, the roots will be hidden deeper than Anbu, and what he has done will be even more shady. It will gradually become Konoha's most direct and effective sword, eradicating Anbu with the attitude of rather kill by mistake than let go all threats inside and outside the village. More importantly, once the roots start to deal with some shady things, then he will be bound more and more deeply with third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. Even if he is not Hokage, he will become the shadow behind Hokage. Especially as time goes by, Sarutobi Hiruzen's strength will begin to decline, and he will gradually fall into darkness. In order to beautify himself, maintain his glorious, stalwart, approachable, and Konoha's image, he will become more and more hypocritical, becoming more and more addicted to the darkness and unable to extricate himself. The tolerance and compromise for him will also greatly increase. As a result, the plan couldn't keep up with the changes. Danzo thought the plan was perfect, But he met Sarutobi Hiruzen, who played cards out of common sense. After the route was established, it was sent out to perform tasks. In the words of 3rd Hokage, the Konoha garrison is in charge of the interior, and the route is in charge of the outside, and Buu leads the overall situation. Garrison, route, and Buu handles randomly. This arrangement is directly on Danzo's 7 inches. Nemus, the route is the most direct and effective sword that wants to be Konoha, want to eradicate all threats inside and outside the village with the attitude of rather kill by mistake than let go. It's not that he wants to simply deal with some external affairs, and he doesn't want to be at the same level as urban management like the Konoha security force. Say something bad. What is the grade of the Konoha security force? The evil Akai clan has no right to compare with the routes he ruled. He went to Sarutobi Hiruzen to fight for his reasons, but he was told that I am Hokage and had nothing to say. He could only leave a sentence of Sarutobi Hiruzen, you will regret it, to maintain his last bit of dignity. Certainly, it also made Shimura Dan's A-ring unexpected. After Sarutobi Hiruzen did Hokage, he almost didn't have any image baggage, and he didn't beautify himself. It's completely a style of doing whatever you want. Even if the injury in World War II turned into a chronic illness, and you often vomit blood, you don't make any cover-ups. One of them, when giving a speech at the opening of the ninja school, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't care about his positive image in everyone's eyes at all, and coughed and vomited blood in full view. So what? Shimura Dan's A-ring has nothing to hold Sarutobi Hiruzen at all, nor can he use some shady things to morally kidnap Sarutobi Hiruzen, let alone pull Sarutobi Hiruzen into the Konoha F3 camp he formed with Mikado Hamura and Udatain Koharu. Uncomfortable. As long as Sarutobi Hiruzen's behavior does not change, he can't kidnap Sarutobi Hiruzen, drag Sarutobi Hiruzen into the dark quagmire, and form a brand new Konoha F4 with their Konoha F3 advertisement, and it made Shimura Dan's A-ring feel aggrieved and wanted to vomit blood. Sarutobi Hiruzen doesn't care about his own image, he doesn't beautify himself, on the contrary, he is more popular and supported by everyone. So much so that many civilians and ninjas say that 3rd Hokage is down to earth. Especially after being injured in World War II and working with illness. It is Konoha's good Hokage, Konoha's great hero, and the perfect embodiment of the will of fire. Vomiting blood, this made Shimura Dan's A-ring, who had always been eyeing the position of Hokage, almost vomited 3 liters of blood. HMPH. Sarutobi Hiruzen, you'll regret it. Sudden. Just at this time, Shimura Dan's A-ring seemed to have thought of something, a slight arc appeared at the corner of his mouth, he snorted coldly, and said, as you grow older, your strength will continue to weaken, coupled with injuries and chronic illnesses. Even if you don't compromise, we will also make you have to compromise. The 4th Hokage candidate, Shimura Dan's A-ring, is determined. Even the resurrection of the 1st Hokage cannot stop it. Joke, swallowed for so many years, no matter what, he's going to be a 4th Hokage candidate. In the past, Sarutobi Hiruzen could still rely on his own strength to make a speech in Konoha, and the elders group was in vain. Now, Sarutobi Hiruzen is getting old, has internal injuries, and his strength has declined seriously. He can no longer hold the position of Hokage, so it is better to retreat to the 2nd line as soon as possible and give up the position of Hokage. He can still hold it. Hokage. He was destined to be the man of the 4th Hokage. When that time comes, he'll take down the evil Uchiha clan with a thunderbolt, take some extreme measures, and lead Konoha village to the top of the ninja world. Boom. While Shimura Dan's A-ring was indulging in his own ambitions, there was a knock at the door. Immediately afterwards, guided by a root ninja, Udatain Koharu and Mikado Hamura of Konoha elders approached the office in random order. Master Danzo. The root ninja knelt down on one knee and said indifferently, Master Koharu, Master Hamura is here. You go out first. Danzo came back to his senses, waved his hand and gave an order. Yes. The root ninja bowed his head and retreated. Danzo, every time I come to you, I feel very uncomfortable. After the root ninja left, Udatain Koharu took a few steps forward, sat on the chair casually, and said speechlessly, I really don't understand you. Why did you build the roots under the ground where there is no sunlight all day long? It's terrifying and terrifying. Koharu, I've explained it to you many times. Shimura Dan's A-ring shook his head with a smile, and said in a firm tone, the root symbolizes putting the roots of the tree deep into the darkness, and destroying all obstacles that hinder the prosperity and development of the village. Therefore, the base must be built underground. A broken bar. Udatain Koharu smiled disdainfully, and said meaningfully, with Enbu in charge of the overall situation, even if your roots go deep into the darkness, it doesn't seem to have much effect. After all, you can only move yourself. HMPH. There will be a chance. Seeing which pot Udatain Koharu was not opening and which pot was being lifted, Shimura Dan's A-ring snorted again, and said, one day, my roots will bear all the darkness of the village and move forward for the prosperity and development of Konoha village. Advertisement. So, what do you want to come to us all of a sudden? After hearing this sentence, Mikado Hamura, who was sitting next to him without speaking, stroked his glasses, and said in a deep voice, we have no agreement, there is no important matter, Try not to meet in private gatherings, so as not to cause unnecessary trouble and Sarutobi Hiruzen's vigilance. Of course I know a broken bar. Shimura Ring's expression suddenly became serious, and after taking a deep look at Udatane Koharu and Midokado Hamura, he said surprisingly, our plan can start ahead of schedule. What? Do you want to start that plan, Danzo? Isn't it a little too hasty? Let's wait a little longer. No. It's too risky. The current Sarutobi Hiruzen, even if he is getting old and has chronic diseases, is not a fuel-efficient lamp. After hearing this sentence, Udatane Koharu and Midokado Hamura were stunned for a moment, and then couldn't help but let out exclamations. It never occurred to the two of them. Danzo called them over. It was actually to carry out that long-planned plan. This made them, who were unprepared, caught off guard. Yes, after Sarutobi Hiruzen took over, he changed, and gradually drifted away from their friends. Relying on being Hokage, he can act arbitrarily and do whatever he wants. After confiscating most of the rights of the elders, the two have completely become tools. What's more embarrassing is that, due to the strength and status of Sarutobi Hiruzen, they didn't dare to say anything, they just couldn't bear it anymore, and cooperated with Sarutobi Hiruzen tremblingly. So, they are suffering from the same disease, and Shimura Ring, who is also oppressed miserably, started to report to the group to keep warm, have already secretly united together, and made a plan to overthrow Sarutobi Hiruzen Hokage when the time is right. Originally. According to the original plan, they would have to wait at least a few years before taking the opportunity to attack, because. As time goes by, Sarutobi Hiruzen will definitely become weaker and weaker, and his spirit will become more and more cowardly. Once they attack, they are very likely to succeed, and they will also let Sarutobi Hiruzen join their Konoha F3 at the last time. It's good now. Shimura Ring directly said that the planning can start. This is the rhythm of going head to head with Sarutobi Hiruzen, who has just entered the weakening period at this stage. No, a broken bar. Absolutely not. A lean camel is bigger than a horse. The current Sarutobi Hiruzen is not weak. If they rashly launch an attack to seize power, they are likely to fail and fall short of success. How? Looking at Udatane Koharu and Midokado Hamura, who showed fear, Shimura Ring's cheeks flashed a gleam of coldness, and he said through gritted teeth, facing a sick monkey that has started to go downhill, don't you even have the courage to resist? Hee. A sick monkey can kill people when it gets angry. Hearing this sentence, Midokado Hamura's eyes flashed brightly, and said, the phoenix that landed is fatter than the chicken. Sarutobi Hiruzen is getting old and going downhill, but. It's not something we can easily shake. Once he loses his temper, we might all die. When it comes to the end, Midokado Hamura's tone obviously has some heart palpitations and tremors. Advertisement these years. He works under Sarutobi Hiruzen and knows Sarutobi Hiruzen's character very well. It's okay not to touch the bottom line, but once they touch the bottom line, they will be greeted by Third Hokage's thunder fury. He has no confidence, although everyone is saying that he has the same strength and wisdom as Third Hokage. In fact. He knew very well, his true strength is no match for Sarutobi Hiruzen. Unless Sarutobi Hiruzen is 10 years older, he should be able to play under the drag of stubborn illness. In other words, even if he can't beat him, he is confident that he can drag Sarutobi Hiruzen to death. As long as Sarutobi Hiruzen dies, as a member of the Konoha Elders, he will still exist like an overlord. That's right, Danzo, you're too impulsive. Udatane Koharu frowned, and added, the time is not yet ripe. Even if Sarutobi Hiruzen is old and suffers from chronic diseases, it is only showing signs of decline. We still have to wait. These two guys don't want to take risks, but they also want to benefit. They really think beautifully. Wait. If you wait any longer, the daylily will be cold. Wealth are sought in danger, and you don't have the courage to take risks. You deserve to be suppressed by Sarutobi Hiruzen so that you don't even dare to breathe. If it weren't for you still having some role, I really don't want to cooperate with you. Shimura Ring was complaining frantically in his heart, but he didn't show it on his face. Instead, he said with a light smile, I know your worries, but. According to what I have collected, in recent months, Sarutobi Hiruzen vomited blood. The frequency has increased, and I have to retreat to practice almost every month, and I think I can't last for a few years. The responsibility and obligation of our elders is to maintain the peace and stability of Konoha Village and make Konoha Village prosperous. So, I think we can start the first step of the plan, propose to Sarutobi Hiruzen, and elect the fourth Hokage candidate. Speaking of this, Shimura Ring paused for a moment, and said meaningfully, the situation in the ninja world is complicated now. If Sarutobi Hiruzen dies one day in the future, the fourth Hokage candidate can still be on top in time, and Konoha can be avoided. Unrest in the village. Udatane Koharu and Midokado Hamura fell silent when they heard the words, and their faces were cloudy and uncertain for a while, apparently weighing the pros and cons. Danzo's meaning is very simple. He does not want to confront Sarutobi Hiruzen head-on, but simply wants to carry out the first step of the plan, proposed to Sarutobi Hiruzen, elect the fourth Hokage candidate. As for who to choose, they were definitely going to vote for Shimura Dan's A-ring, which was also agreed in advance. In addition to Danzo, the head of the Uchiha clan, the head of the Hyuga clan, or Orochimaru, one of the Sannin, Jiraiya, Tsunade, and Hotakesukumo of Anbu, all have a chance. If voted, even if Shimura Dan's A-ring got 2 of their votes, he might not necessarily be the fourth Hokage candidate. As for the reason, the first is because third Hokage has a veto, the second is Anbu's Hotakesukumo, who also has a very high prestige in Konoha village. In World War II, Sarutobi Hiruzen was in the limelight, but Hotakesukumo also played the fearsome title of Hotake White Fang. The third is the patriarch of the Uchiha clan, the patriarch of the Hyuga clan, or Orochimaru, one of the Sannin, Jiraiya, and Tsunade. If they want to fight, it will be very troublesome. In other words, in a bad way, candidates for fourth Hokage candidates, the most important thing is to look at the meaning of third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. Whoever he chooses is basically who he chooses. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you, readers. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 14 Elders, God Helps Me. Second watch for flowers and comments. Prev chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Inappropriate tag. Broken bar. A broken bar. Bringing up the election of the fourth Hokage candidate now is easy to startle the enemy and cause unnecessary trouble. Sarutobi Hiruzen is starting to go downhill, but it's far from an optimal time. Not long after pondering for a while, the tight and cautious Udatane Koharu and Midokado Hamura shook their heads in no particular order. They still don't agree with Danzo's plan to elect a fourth Hokage candidate to Sarutobi Hiruzen. After all, Sarutobi Hiruzen, this guy. After Hokage came to the top, there is no rules at all in the way of acting. If Sarutobi Hiruzen is vigilant and suppressed, it will be the end of the calf. You a broken bar. Shimura Dan's A-ring's gloomy face suddenly froze. He didn't expect. As time goes by, Sarutobi Hiruzen hasn't become cowardly yet. Midokado Hamura and Udatane Koharu of the elders became timid instead. Advertisement. He has said everything so clearly, and he is still afraid of wolves and tigers. This. Without any sense of adventure, how can he accomplish great things? No. This time I have to propose to Sarutobi Hiruzen to elect a fourth Hokage candidate. The next moment, Shimura Dan's A-ring took a deep breath, glanced at Udatane Koharu and Midokado Hamura, and said firmly, "A few hours ago, I got a message that it was performed by Hotakesukumo, who was wearing a half Hokage sleeve. A rank mission failed. Impossibly broken bar. A broken bar. With Hotakesukumo's strength and Danbu's cooperation, even if it is an S-level task, can he complete it?" Upon hearing this sentence, Udatane Koharu and Midokado Hamura couldn't help showing incredible expressions. As a ninja holding the white chakra short sword and shining in World War II, Hotakesukumo's strength and ability are beyond doubt, and his name of Konoha's White Fang is resounding all over the world. Now perform an A-level mission. It failed. It is conceivable that the impact will not only cause a certain blow to Hotakesukumo's reputation, but also affect some of the prestige that Konoha village has finally accumulated. Wait a minute. Isn't Shimura Dan's A-ring trying to take this opportunity to eliminate Hotakesukumo from the ranks of fourth Hokage candidates? Just at this time, Udatane Koharu and Midokado Hamura seemed to have thought of something, and looked at Shimura Dan's A-ring fiercely. As the absolute descendant of third Hokage, Anbu's captain, Hotakesukumo, is very likely to be valued by Sarutobi Hiruzen and promoted as a candidate for fourth Hokage. If he can take advantage of the failure of this mission, he will give Hotakesukumo a good blow. Prestige is undoubtedly in their favor. After Sarutobi Hiruzen is released, you should be able to get this news. At this time, Shimura Dan's A-ring didn't care so much, and said with a little teasing, "As the captain of Anbu, wearing half of the Hokage sleeves, even failed an A-level mission, I have to say that God helped us. No matter what, this time I will use this as an opportunity to make a good layout." Well, a broken bar. Advertisement. Udatane Koharu also couldn't help showing a sneer, and said curiously, "I really can't figure it out. An A-level task, Hotakesukumo will fail." Ha. Shimura Dan's A-ring showed a smug smile and said with a smile, "According to the information I got, it seems that Hotakesukumo chose to save his companions because he gave up the mission, which led to the failure of the mission. He chose the task in the multiple choice questions of the task and the companion." Hearing this sentence, Midokado Hamura's eyes flashed brightly, and he said in a deep voice, "I really didn't expect that Hotakesukumo would make such a low-level mistake. Doesn't he know that with his identity and status, will the failure of an A-level mission cause any serious consequences? If nobles and businessmen from various countries doubt the success rate of Konoha Village's completion of the reward mission, he will become a sinner of Konoha Village." Joke. Now that Konoha Village can develop so well, a large part of the reason is that after winning the Second Ninja Time War, Many merchants and nobles place bounty tasks in Konoha village. Well now, one of Konoha village's platoon members, Anbu's captain, Hatake Tsukumo, who is known as Hatake White Fang, failed to perform an A-level mission. Cause serious economic losses. Perhaps this is what he thinks is the will of fire. The corner of Shimura-dan's A-ring's mouth curved slightly, and he said slowly, Hatake Tsukumo, one of Sarutobi Hiruzen's right-hand men, made such a serious mistake. If we don't do it, we will all be sorry. Anyway, a heavy blow to Hatake Tsukumo's prestige will do more good than harm to our elders. Joke, the dispute over the position of Hokage. The interests of many factions of Konoha are involved. He wants to sit on the position of Hokage, whose prestige surpasses that of Sannin, and Hatake Tsukumo, who belongs to the absolute direct line of Sarutobi Hiruzen, must be the first to strike and eliminate. Since your understanding is that companions are greater than tasks, then I'm sorry. The essence of the will of fire is that tasks are greater than companions. Konoha village's interests are above everything else, and even partners can give up in front of collective interests. As for specific plans, Danzo probably already knows what's going on in his heart. Have nothing to say. Advertisement this time. He's going to pass Hatake Tsukumo. Come and give Sarutobi Hiruzen a good slap in the face. The will of fire? The voice did not fall. Midokado Hamura and Udatane Koharu both laughed at the same time. As a qualified politician, what the will of fire is never the most important thing. It just needs to be what they think it is. In other words, the will of fire is just a spiritual tool to rule Konoha village. Although I don't know why Sarutobi Hiruzen intentionally downplayed Konohagakure's unique spirit the will of fire after he took over the position. Except for some specific occasions, he almost didn't mention the will of fire. But as the elders, they often promote the will of fire, especially where the leaves are flying. The fire is always alive. The fire will continue to illuminate the village and let the new leaves sprout. They often publicize the saying. Originally thought that the strength was not comparable. Just use the spirit of the will of fire to enhance your influence. Unexpectedly, there is a surprise. Anbu's captain Hatake Tsukumo seems to have been recruited. This is undoubtedly God helping them too. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you. Readers. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 15. What? Shocking the elders. Begging for flowers and comments at midnight. Prev chapter. Next chapter. Advertisements. Not a broken bar. Sarutobi Hiruzen, you are really too confident. As you grow older and become weaker, you may not be able to suppress the high-ranking Hatake Tsukumo. Not even us. So, for everyone's benefit, let me bear the darkness for you in advance. Let the famous Hatake White Fang become notorious, and fall from the clouds to the altar. One day, you will understand our difficulties and join us in Konoha F3. Thought of here. A gleam of determination flashed in Shimura-dan's A-ring's eyes. What he did was a little bit for himself. Most of it was for Sarutobi Hiruzen, for the future of Konoha village. Anyway, in a word, how can Konoha village have such a quiet time? It's still up to him, Shimura-dan's A-ring, to carry the load. So, what's your decision? I won't come again when the opportunity is too late. Such a good opportunity, but it doesn't happen every day. A few seconds later, Shimura-dan's A-ring reached out and took a brand new teacup on the table, poured a glass of water, took a sip slowly, and said, in Sarutobi Hiruzen's usual style, this time Hatake Tsukumo wanted to save his companion, and giving up on completing the task is likely to be deliberately downplayed by him. Even if it is spread, it will be promoted from the front, saying that Hatake Tsukumo's ninja way is to value his companions, and further establish his heroic image. When it comes to this, Shimura-dan's A-ring's tone is obviously jealous. Nemus, as one of the partners who grew up with Third Hokage, the treatment he and Hatake Tsukumo enjoyed in front of Sarutobi Hiruzen is completely different. Advertisement. His roots are restricted in various ways, but Hatake's Anbu enjoys many privileges. In a sense, neither the roots nor the Konoha garrison have as much power as Anbu can. Okay, we know what to do. After hearing this sentence, after Udatane Koharu and Midokado Hamura took a deep breath, they couldn't help but look at each other. Both of them could see the dignified look. They know very well, for so many years, their Konoha F3 will face off against Third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. Good. Hearing this, Shimura-dan's A-ring showed a satisfied expression, and said pointedly, as long as Sarutobi Hiruzen is out of customs, we will go to the Hokage building together. I just hope that he won't be vomiting blood due to his stubborn illness. Ha ha ha. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who suffers from a chronic illness, may actually be vomiting blood due to shortness of breath. Udatane Koharu and Midokado Hamura also showed joking smiles. They didn't want to attack Sarutobi Hiruzen, but by all accounts, it just didn't count that Hatake Tsukumo offered a knife on his own initiative. Then there is no other way. We must seize the opportunity to properly exercise the authority of the elders. However, the moment Konoha F3 reached a consensus, there was a knock on the door. Come in. Shimura-dan's A-ring frowned. and said something in an unhappy tone. He doesn't like to be interrupted during meetings, so, the roots have strict rules. During the meeting, no matter what happens, unless the sky is falling in Konoha village, don't knock on the door. Advertisement report. Master Danzo, there is important information. With an unbelievable tone, a root ninja hurriedly pushed the door in, as if he was too horrified. This root ninja didn't see Danzo's displeased expression at all. Shimura Danzo frowned, and was about to reprimand him. Next moment, hearing the shocked and unbelievable tone of the Jinbu ninja, his voice was a little trembling. Master Third Hokage is out. I don't know what's going on. Mr. Hokage achieved the second growth, not only became younger, but also grew a lot in height. The wrinkles on his face disappeared, his beard and hair did not turn gray, and he went at the Ikaraku ramen restaurant. I ate 205 bowls of ramen. Hear the first sentence. Shimura Danzo froze for a moment, and then showed a hint of joy. It's really what they say, just as they have reached a consensus on Konoha F3, Sarutobi Hiruzen is out. Isn't this God helping me? Wait a minute. But, after hearing the next sentence, the joy on Shimura Danzo's cheeks froze immediately, and there was a look of complete disbelief in his eyes. What are you kidding? Sarutobi Hiruzen, an aging monkey, not only became younger, but also grew a lot in height. Isn't this nonsense? Impossible. Absolutely impossible! Exclamation mark. No one can violate the laws of nature and reverse growth in the passage of time. Sarutobi Hiruzen is already getting old and suffering from chronic diseases. How could he become younger? And he ate 205 bowls of ramen. Absurd. It's really ridiculous. He's not a pig. Did he eat so much digested food? Advertisement. A broken bar. Danzo, your roots don't seem to be doing well. At this time, it's not just Shimura Danzo who doesn't believe it. Even Udatain Koharu and Midokado Hamura couldn't help showing a very speechless expression after the initial disbelief. They prefer to believe that Isao climbs a tree. I can't believe that Sarutobi Hiruzen has become younger this time, and he ate 205 bowls of ramen. Snort. A broken bar. Shimura Danzo snorted coldly, and looked at the root ninja with cold eyes, expressing a very simple meaning. If you don't give me a reasonable explanation today, then you don't have to go out. Real. Master Danzo, this is absolutely true. The Jinbu ninja's tone was eager, and he knelt on the ground in fright, and added tremblingly, not only our Jinbu, but all the major families of Konoha should have received this information, and because Third Master Hokage ate 205 bowls of ramen at the Ikaraku ramen restaurant, and that Ikaraku ramen restaurant has become popular. Real? Seeing the root ninja's swearing, Shimura Danzo hesitated, subconsciously said, have you already confirmed? Master Danzo, it must have been determined. The root ninja really wanted to cry, and said cautiously, we were also very confused when we got this information, but after repeated confirmation, we confirmed that the information is indeed true. It just so happens that we are root ninja. Near the Ikaraku ramen restaurant, he also witnessed Master Third Hokage eating 205 bowls of ramen bowl by bowl. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you. Readers. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 16. Damn it, no way. For more begging for flowers and comments. Prev chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Quiet! Exclamation mark. A piece of silence! Exclamation mark. After that root ninja finished speaking, Shimura Danzo, Udatain Koharu, and Midokado Hamura's expressions on their cheeks were completely frozen, and their eyes were once again full of horror and disbelief. After reacting, they also realized, as a direct descendant of Shimura Danzo, since Jinbu dared to report this information, it must have been confirmed. Even if they don't believe it anymore, they seem to have to believe it. Thinking of Sarutobi Hiruzen getting younger, growing taller, and eating 205 bowls of ramen like a super big eater, Shimura Danzo, Udatain Koharu, Midokado Hamura are all unacceptable. You clearly agreed to grow old together, but you secretly became rich and handsome. No wonder you often practice in seclusion. It's fake to heal your wounds, but it's real to practice secret arts to become younger. Go out. After a few seconds, Shimura Danzo took a deep breath and ordered in a deep voice. Yes. The Jinbu ninja, whose whole body was already drenched in cold sweat, left the office with his head bowed and trembling as if he was about to receive an amnesty. Boom. Advertisement. When the Jinbu ninja went out, Shimura Danzo, who had been enduring it all the time, lost his composure. In a fit of frustration, he got up and patted the table, picked up the brand new teacup on the table, and slammed it on the table. On the ground. Nemus, he's already planned it all. There was an accident at Sarutobi Hiruzen. Not only did he grow taller and younger, but he also ate 205 bowls of ramen. How could it be possible? But the fact is like this, he has to believe it even if he doesn't believe it, and somehow, indistinctly, He already had some fear and confusion about the unknown in his heart. For a long time, he has been unable to understand Sarutobi Hiruzen, especially after Sarutobi Hiruzen took the position of Hokage, and they both became the senior management of Konoha village. The bond between them became more and more distant. It's good now. Sarutobi Hiruzen has undergone an unknown metamorphosis, which makes Shimura Dance A-Ring somewhat unsure whether he should propose to him and elect the fourth Hokage candidate. This. How is it possible? What kind of secret technique did Sarutobi Hiruzen succeed in researching, that would cause such a big change? The faces of Udatane Koharu and Midokado Hamura are also a little ugly, and the whole person is also a little bad, especially Udatane Koharu. With the increase of age, there are some wrinkles on her cheeks, and gray hair on her head. It turned out well. Sarutobi Hiruzen not only grew taller, but also became younger. Even the wrinkles on the cheeks and the white hair on the head disappeared. This makes Udatane Koharu feel envious and jealous for a while. Sarutobi Hiruzen, the Dog Day, has such a magical secret technique, but still hides it, and doesn't regard her as one of his own at all. If it's just that the body is getting younger, you can still accept it reluctantly. Once the stubborn illnesses on your body are cured and your strength returns to its peak, then the problem will be serious. Midokado Hamura took a deep breath, suppressed the trembling in his heart, and said in a heavy tone, "How terrifying is a Sarutobi Hiruzen who has no chronic illnesses and has become younger. You should all know that if you keep the Green Hills, you will not have to worry about firewood. If it doesn't work, we'll continue to hibernate." Alright. Sarutobi Hiruzen was able to act arbitrarily in Konoha village and not give their elders any face. What did he rely on? Advertisement relying on strength, able to skillfully combine 5 kinds of ninjutsu with different attributes. All the ninjutsu of Grandmaster Konoha. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who enjoys the title of Professor of Ninjutsu, is not blown out, but by typing out. When second Hokage was still in office, they and Sarutobi Hiruzen often exchanged ideas with each other, almost all of which ended in failure. It's not that they are too weak, but Sarutobi Hiruzen is too strong. There is no such thing as an awesome blood succession limit, and the strength has reached a peak in the ninja world at this stage. Even if you get younger, it's impossible to get rid of stubborn illnesses, and it's even more impossible to restore your strength to its peak. Hearing this sentence, Shimura Dance A-Ring became a little anxious immediately, gritted his teeth and said, "Any secret technique has side effects. It is impossible to make Sarutobi Hiruzen grow taller and younger, and at the same time recover his stubborn illness and restore his strength to the peak. Besides, it doesn't have to be a secret technique." Speaking of which, Shimura Dance A-Ring seemed to be quite something, and said coldly, "Sarutobi Hiruzen is known as the Doctor of Ninjutsu. He must be doing research in retreat. It is very likely that he secretly transplanted the cells of Master First Hokage himself. With the help of the powerful first-generation cells, resilience and vitality realize the secondary development of the body. In a sense, you have a sage body. As for the side effects, it may be that it consumes a lot, otherwise it would be impossible to eat 200 bowls of ramen." "What? Sage body?" "Sarutobi transplanted cells from First Hokage." The voice did not fall. Both Udatane Koharu and Midokado Hamura couldn't help but exclaimed. In fact, the research on First Hokage cells has already started since Second Hokage took over. Because Konoha village has always had 2 hidden dangers. One is the 9 tails sealed in the village, the other is the Uchiha clan. So, after the death of First Hokage and the loss of wood style, Senjuto Bairama wanted to mobilize the power of the whole village to carry out research on his elder brother Hashirama's cells, and wanted Konoha to have wood style again. Advertisement, but with the sacrifice of a large number of volunteers in the experiment. Second generation had to stop. All relevant records are sealed as black history. Originally, after Third Hokage came to power, Shimura Dance A-Ring, Udatane Koharu, and Midokado Hamura wanted to restart the research on First Hokage cells, but Sarutobi Hiruzen flatly rejected it. If Sarutobi Hiruzen really transplanted cells from First Hokage, owning Sage Body by accident proves that they are still too young. Sarutobi Hiruzen, an old coin, has deceived countless people. Walk. The next moment, Shimura Dance A-Ring, whose expression was changing, took a deep breath, suppressed the jealousy in his heart, and said in an extremely unhappy tone, "Let's go to the Hokage building to find Sarutobi Hiruzen. He must give us an explanation for this matter." "That's right." Udatane Koharu nodded coldly, and said, "If he can successfully transplant First Hokage's cells, he should contribute the technology." Midokado Hamura did not speak, but the greedy look in the eyes still flashed by. As time goes by, not only Sarutobi Hiruzen is getting old, but their elders are also getting old, and now Sarutobi Hiruzen has achieved a second spring, and their hearts say that it is impossible without ideas. Who wouldn't want to relive their youth? P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you everyone. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 17 Horrified Akaya Prev Chapter Next Chapter Advertisement Konoha Village Central Area. Across from the settlement of the Akaya clan, a building stands there, looking from afar. On the top of the building, there are 6 characters of Konoha Security Force. Yes, this is where the Konoha garrison is stationed. At first, Second Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen in order to express his trust in Akaya. At the same time, you can also observe every move of Akaya, and set up the Konoha Guard Force, whose members are mainly members of the Akaya clan. The main job is to maintain the law and order and stability within the village of Konoha Shinobi, responsible for formulating the rules of the village, strengthening and maintaining the order and law and order of Konohagakure, and arresting criminals and ninjas, but not including Anbu directly under Hokage. Sometimes I also support Anbu to participate in the security work of the village. However, the powers of the police force are also limited. For example, they cannot intervene in matters involving Anbu. After Third Hokage came to power, he did not inherit the will of Second Hokage to secretly suppress the Akaya clan, and uncharacteristically entrusted the Konoha security force with heavy responsibilities, which virtually made the Konoha security force's power in Konoha village reach a peak. Shiu, shiu, shiu. Sudden. At this moment, several crackling sounds sounded. I saw Akai Fugaku. Akaya Miki appeared here at a very fast speed, and hurriedly entered the building of the security force. A broken bar, a broken bar, a broken bar, a broken bar. At this time, the top floor of the Konoha security force building. The patriarch of the Akaya clan and the captain of the Konoha garrison, Akaya Fushin, is sitting on a chair, drinking tea leisurely, looking at the intelligence documents. Comfortable. It's really comfortable to not be deliberately targeted by Hokage. I do not know how long it has been. Akaya Fushin put down the intelligence document in his hand, and stretched happily. Alright, even now, Akaya Fushin feels as if he is dreaming. Second Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen not only suppressed the Akaya clan, but also took the initiative to set up the Konoha garrison to appease the Akaya clan, making the Akaya clan always in a state of pain and happiness. I thought that after Third Hokage took office, the administrative policy of Second Hokage would continue, but did not expect. Advertisement. Master Sarutobi Hiruzen actually violated the will of Second Hokage, and began to entrust important tasks to the Akaya clan and other blood succession limited families. With the help of this shareholder wind, the Akaya family took advantage of the trend and developed rapidly, becoming the veritable #1 family in Konoha village. Their fame and power reached an unprecedented peak in Konoha. Are you really going to compete for the 4th Hokage position? Sudden, as if thinking of something, Akaya Fushin frowned, and immediately showed a silent expression. He sincerely admires Third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen's broad mind and eclectic style of doing things. So, reciprocating, the Akaya clan has not deliberately sought out things over the years, and the Konoha security force has also devoted itself to maintaining the peace and stability of Konoha village. Just growing fame and power, it can no longer satisfy the appetite and ambition of some expansionist Akaya ninjas. So, the expansive Akaya ninja has his sights set on a future 4th Hokage candidate. Just in time. Third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen injured and going downhill. Is there reason? After all, no one can guarantee what kind of policies will be adopted for the Akaya family after 4th Hokage takes over. Only when Akaya Fushin becomes 4th Hokage is the safest and safest. In other words, the Akaya clan wants to get back everything that was lost, including the Hokage seat. Just started. Akaya Fushin didn't take it to heart. But, as Sarutobi Hiruzen suffers from a stubborn illness, often vomits blood, and his body begins to decline, there are still some changes in his heart. Hokage, who doesn't want to do it? There was no chance before. Now that the Akaya family is so powerful, there may not be no chance. The only one who is a little sorry is Third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, but there is no way. This is politics. In order to fight for more right to speak, for the interest and future of the Akaya clan, and for the Akaya clan not to repeat the same mistakes. At the crucial moment, he, the patriarch, had to make such a difficult choice to fight. Boom. But, while Akaya Fushin was still thinking, the door of the office was directly pushed open by Akaya Fugaku and Akaya Miki. Seeing this scene, Akaya Fushin frowned, and couldn't help scolding. Don't you even understand the most basic rules? Master Patriarch, something is wrong. Akaya Miki knelt on one knee, and reported with disbelief, just now we saw Master Third Hokage at the Akiraku ramen restaurant in the commercial street. When it comes to this, Akaya Miki's tone was obviously a little suspicious, and he hesitated even to speak. Isn't it just seeing Third Hokage? What's all the fuss about? Hearing this sentence, Akaya Fushin, who originally thought that something big happened, showed a very speechless expression, and said, isn't it normal for Mr. Third Hokage to go out to eat noodles? What are you doing in such a panic? Fugaku, why do you have such an expression? The next moment, Akaya Fushin glanced at Akaya Fugaku again, and said with hatred, at any rate, you are also the patriarch of the future Akaya clan, so you're so rash and hasty. No, Lord Patriarch, listen to me. Akaya Miki wanted to cry, so he could only suppress the throbbing in his heart, and said in an unbelievable tone, "Master Third Hokage, after leaving customs this time, not only grows taller and younger, but also eats 205 bowls of ramen." What did you say? Third Hokage not only grew taller and became younger, but also ate 200 bowls of ramen. After this sentence, at the beginning, Uchiha Fushin didn't react, and then there was an unbelievable look in his eyes, and finally stood up from the chair, and couldn't help but exclaimed. Nemus, it never occurred to him, Uchiha Miki would say such a shocking sentence. Third Hokage grew taller and younger, and ate 200 bowls of ramen. This is impossible no matter how you think about it. This is impossible. Master Third Hokage was injured in World War II. As time passed, his body began to decline. How could it be possible to reverse growth? Although Uchiha Fushin knew that since Uchiha Miki dared to report to him, that's probably true, but he still couldn't believe it. Because this is simply unbelievable. Unbelievable. He started thinking about fighting for the position of 4th Hokage, but learned that 3rd Hokage has grown taller and younger. Isn't it too difficult? Father, I witnessed the younger 3rd Hokage with my own eyes. At this time, Uchiha Fugaku took a deep breath, and slowly said, judging from the state and appetite of Mr. 3rd Hokage eating noodles, as well as the smell, he is most likely cured of his stubborn illness. Real? Advertisement. Uchiha Fushin still glanced at Uchiha Fugaku in disbelief, and asked repeatedly in a trembling tone. Well, really? Uchiha Fugaku nodded heavily. Aha, broken bar, a broken bar. Uchiha Fushin sat on the chair in disbelief, opened his mouth, and wanted to say something, but found that his mind was blank. 1 second, a broken bar, a broken bar. 10 seconds, 30 seconds, a broken bar, a broken bar, a broken bar, a broken bar. Until 3 minutes later, Uchiha Fushin reacted belatedly, glanced at Uchiha Fugaku with a solemn face, and said in a deep voice, quickly tell me what happened at the Ikaraku ramen restaurant from beginning to end. Okay, broken bar, a broken bar. Without any hesitation, Uchiha Fugaku said, after performing the patrol mission, we went to the Ikaraku ramen restaurant to eat a bowl of ramen, but we didn't expect that when the ramen was just served. In less than 5 minutes, Uchiha Fugaku has completely described what happened at the Ikaraku ramen restaurant. Uchiha Fushin's expression fluctuated for a while, especially after hearing 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen beating Uchiha Miki and others intentionally or unintentionally. His brows were tightly furrowed. Whether intentionally or deliberately, 3rd Hokage's move obviously means to beat the Uchiha clan like a cow across the mountain by eating Ikaraku ramen. I just don't know if Master 3rd Hokage has recovered his peak combat power after growing taller and younger. If he hasn't recovered, it's okay to say that once he recovers, the Uchiha family must keep a low profile. What 4th Hokage candidate? Don't think too much about it. After all, he knows how terrifying a 3rd Hokage at his peak is. Maybe not as good as the legendary ninjas 1st Hokage Senju Hashirama and Uchiha Madara, but not that the Uchiha clan can go head to head. Well, a moment later, Uchiha Fushin let out a sigh of gratitude and regret if he felt something, and he was relieved deep in his heart. He is fortunate that 3rd Hokage is getting younger, so the position of Hokage must be as stable as a rock. As long as the Uchiha clan does not do too much, the policy towards the Uchiha clan will definitely not change. Regrettably, his Hokage dream may have died before it even started. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you. Readers. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 18 Shocking all sides. 1 Kneeling for flowers and comments. Prev chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Kala broken bar, a broken bar. Listening to Uchiha Tommy's sigh, Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Miki glanced at each other subconsciously, and both breathed a sigh of relief involuntarily. Because, judging from the look and state of the Uchiha patriarch Fushin, he has clearly understood the seriousness and urgency of the matter, and for the future of the Uchiha clan, he gave up some dangerous thoughts in his heart. In a word, as long as Lord 3rd Hokage is around, the so-called expansive ninjas of the Uchiha clan will never be able to turn the sky. Have you built 3rd Hokage yet? I do not know how long it has been. Uchiha Fushin seemed to have thought of something, and asked subconsciously. Leaving in a hurry. We forgot. Upon hearing this sentence, both Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Miki's eyes froze, showing very annoyed expressions. Yes, at Ikaraku ramen restaurant. Why didn't they take the initiative to settle the bill for Lord 3rd Hokage? Such a good opportunity to express themselves was wasted by them. You are still too young. The next moment, Uchiha Fushin shook his head speechlessly, and ordered, Miki, hurry up to Ikaraku ramen restaurant and help Master 3rd Hokage settle the bill. Okay, I'll go right away. Brush. The voice did not fall. There was a crackling sound. Uchiha Miki left the office without hesitation. Fugaku, go down and rest too. After Uchiha Miki left, Uchiha Fushin took a deep breath, waved his hand and said, this matter is very important. I am going to the Hokage building. Advertisement. This time, Konoha village is about to shake. When it comes to this, Kayafushin's tone is obviously dignified and solemn. Originally, as time went by, 3rd Hokage's physical condition deteriorated, causing Konoha village to appear thriving and prosperous on the surface, but in fact it was already undercurrent. In the past few years, there have been faint voices of candidates for the election of the 4th Hokage. Anyone with a discerning eye knows, someone is testing 3rd Hokage. Result, 3rd generation Muyo Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't respond, even Anbu didn't do any investigation, which made Kayafushin move his mind to compete for the position of 4th Hokage. After all, someone is testing 3rd Hokage, but he didn't respond, which proves that 3rd Hokage may be unable to do what he wants. Fortunately, in recent years, the Uchiha clan did nothing out of the ordinary. Otherwise, Kayafushin can imagine the consequences of the Uchiha clan. Okay. Uchiha Fugaku nodded with a solemn face, obviously aware of the seriousness of the matter, and without saying anything, he turned and left the office. As my father said, every move of 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen will affect the entire Konoha village. It is foreseeable that as the news about the Ikaraku ramen shop spreads, Konoha village will shake up. As expected of 3rd Hokage, no wonder you often practice in closed doors. Did you really hide it from everyone? Looking at the back of Uchiha Fugaku leaving, Kayafushin let out a sigh. He's not some fool and fool many things. A little series connection will make people suddenly realize. On the surface, it seems that 3rd Hokage suffers from chronic diseases, often vomits blood, and his health is getting worse, so he often retreats to practice. Now it seems that retreat practice must be practicing some kind of secret technique. Advertisement. In other words, 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen was standing on the 3rd floor, but he was actually standing on the 13th floor, and everyone was played by 3rd Hokage in applause. The only thing that makes Kayafushin curious is, what kind of secret technique is this? Or is it some kind of blood inheritance limit? It is unbelievable that it can make a person reverse growth and become younger. Also, how much has the strength of 3rd Hokage covered? That's all. I can't figure it out at all, let alone figure it out. Since 3rd Hokage unabashedly ate 205 bowls of ramen at a Ikaraku ramen restaurant, I must not be the only one who got the news. It's better to go to the Hokage building. I believe many things can be solved. After a few seconds, Kayafushin rubbed his temples, too lazy to think about anything. This time, 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen's sudden flash of the sword is destined to detonate the entire Konoha village. What's going on? Let's take the initiative to go to Hokage's office to find out! Alright, the same is true. Since Sarutobi Hiruzen has no cover, what happened at the Ikaraku ramen restaurant cannot be concealed at all. Probably less than 3 hours after 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen left, things about 3rd Hokage getting younger and eating 205 bowls of ramen began to go viral in Konoha village. In a split second, the whole Konoha village was shaken, causing an uproar. Many civilians, businessmen, and ninjas were stunned by the shock, and after reacting, they showed horrified expressions. What's the situation? 3rd Hokage-sama, who has begun to decline, actually became younger, and ate 205 bowls of ramen like a shock. This is too unbelievable, right? But the incident happened at the Ikaraku ramen restaurant. There are many witnesses, so many people have to believe it. Have nothing to say. It can only be said that Lord 3rd Hokage deserves to be the Grand Master Konoha all ninjutsu, a man who enjoys the title of ninjutsu professor. Advertisement. And, invisibly, countless civilians, businessmen, and ninjas worship and love 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen more and more. Joke, the second ninja world war can be won. Konoha village can have today's brilliance. 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen has contributed a lot. Now a transformation has been achieved, not only growing taller and becoming younger, but also eating 205 bowls of ramen with a big appetite. It must be a great thing for Konoha village. It is the blessing of Konoha village. Good luck to Konoha village! So, in this situation, 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen once again became the focus of everyone's attention, and even the Ikaraku ramen restaurant became famous, and the business became hot. At the same time, in addition to Utatane Koharu of the Konoha elders, Mitokado Hamura, Shimura Den's A-Ring, Uchiha Futon, the patriarch of the Uchiha clan, the head of the Hyuga family, the head of the Akamaki family, the head of the Nara family, the head of the Yamanaka family, the head of the Aburame family, the head of the Inuzuka family, etc. all got the news, and the first reaction was that they couldn't believe it. After confirming the authenticity of the news, the second reaction is that Konoha village's Optimus Prime is back. For these families, it doesn't matter who is the Hokage in Konoha village, as long as the family can develop normally, it's fine. But, compared with the uncertain 4th Hokage, the policies of the 3rd Hokage are still very friendly to the major blood successor families. Originally, when the strength of the 3rd Hokage was declining and it was becoming increasingly difficult to grasp the situation, the major families it is also observing in secret, waiting for the opportunity to choose to stand in line to obtain the greatest benefit. It's good now. I do not know how it is. 3rd Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, Return of the King. Then they don't have to think so much at all, they stand in line without thinking and the third generation project is over. In a word, as long as the strength of third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen is still there, no one can't turn the world around in Konoha village. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you, readers. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 19. Let the bullets fly for a while. The second watch begs for flowers and comments. Prev chapter. Next chapter advertisement. At this time, against the vibrating Konoha village, the Hokage building in the central area of Konoha village is a piece of calm. After happily eating 205 bowls of ramen, Sarutobi Hiruzen went to the lounge on the top floor of the Hokage building, took a leisurely bath, and changed into a new set of fitting Hokage royals sent by Anbu, Godrobe. In the office, comfortable, sitting on the chair, Sarutobi Hiruzen stretched, picked up the cup, took a big sip of goji berry water. This time, he went to the Ikaraku ramen restaurant and ate 205 bowls of ramen, which should have attracted the whole Konoha village. Next, you can make bullets fly. Alright. In the past, Sarutobi Hiruzen suffered from a chronic illness, and his strength was gradually declining. He could only try his best to maintain his physical condition through continuous retreat and practice. So, Konoha village was basically in a state of stalking. As long as you don't overdo it, he can turn a blind eye. Now that the strength has recovered and become stronger, the system has also been awakened, and many things should be well deterred. When the plot changes, it becomes stronger. Thinking about it is still a little bit exciting. After all, Sarutobi Hiruzen in the original, needless to say, a series of actions made the King of Glory into bronze. As long as he can stick to his usual style of doing things, he can do whatever he wants. Isn't it easy to change the plot? Boom. But, just at this time, advertisement, there was a knock at the door. Come in. Sarutobi Hiruzen was in a good mood, and gave an order quietly. Immediately afterwards, an Anbu ninja rushed in through the door, glanced at the tall and young third Hokage, suppressed the shock in his heart, and knelt down on one knee to report, Master Hokage, I have important information. Oh? After hearing this sentence, Sarutobi Hiruzen's expression didn't change at all, and he said calmly, what important information? Captain Hatake, the execution of the mission execution failed. There was an expression of disbelief on the cheeks of the Anbu ninja mask, and he said cautiously, according to the information sent back, Captain Hatake seems to have voluntarily given up the mission and chose to save his companions, which led to the failure of an A-level mission. When it comes to this, the tone of the Anbu ninja was obviously a little overwhelmed and confused. Obviously, he also doesn't know Captain Hatake. Is it right or wrong to do this? One side is the task, the other side is the companion. It's okay if it's an ordinary ninja, but Hatake's captain's identity is there, not only Anbu's captain, but also wearing a half Hokage sleeve. A failure of an A-level mission will cause a serious chain react. But it's the companions who get a long day and night to save. There is nothing wrong with Captain Hatake abandoning the mission. Too difficult. This multiple choice question was too difficult, and he was at a loss anyway. Hatake Tsukumo, did the mission fail? Sarutobi Hiruzen froze for a moment before showing a clear expression. Really? It's time to come. Even if he has changed some of the plot, still failed to influence Hatake Tsukumo to give up the mission in order to save his companions. As for right and wrong, is it important? Official word to mouths. Advertisement. What the left says is right, what the right says is also right. Anyway, everything is right, and in the original, when Hatake Tsukumo was performing a classified mission as the captain, forced to make a dilemma, he chose to save his companion's life and gave up the mission, which caused a very serious loss to Konoha. After returning to the village, he was blamed by his fellow villagers for the loss of the village because of this matter, thinking that he did not distinguish between the serious and the serious, and he really lost his status as a ninja. In the end, even the companions he rescued began to blame him. Finally, Captain Anbu of Yi Village, wearing the white crescent with half of the Hokage sleeve, couldn't bear the pain of being stabbed in the back by thousands of people, and chose to kill himself. Actually, this is only superficial reason. In fact, there are Konoha high-level fueling, as well as some civilians swearing at Hatake Tsukumo, and third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen who chose to be silent at a critical moment. No way. At that time, Hatake Tsukumo, who was wearing a half Hokage sleeve, was too powerful and prestige. Once the fourth Hokage election is held, Hatake Tsukumo is almost guaranteed to become the fourth Hokage. So, against his prestige, is in the interest of all parties. Also in line with the idea of a third Hokage at the time. Hatake Tsukumo didn't play his cards according to common sense. You hit my prestige, made me accused by thousands of people, unable to hold my head up in front of my son, then lazy directly committed suicide by throwing the table. It directly caused Konoha village to lose a top ninja who could decide the direction of the war. Okay, got it. After thinking for a while, Sarutobi Hiruzen calmed down, nodded calmly, and said, "You go down first. After Hitakesukumo comes back, let him come to my office." "Understood, Lord Third Hokage." Looking at Sarutobi Hiruzen, whose expression didn't fluctuate, the Anbu ninja didn't dare to say anything, so he could only bow his head and back out. Originally, he wanted to take a look at the face of Lord Third Hokage, so as to give Captain Hitake a little reminder. Advertisement. Now it seems that there is no way to remind. I only hope that Captain Hitake can get the forgiveness and support of Lord Third Hokage. Isn't this opportunity to change the plot coming? After the Anbu ninja leaves, the corner of Sarutobi Hiruzen's mouth was slightly curved, and he really said whatever he wanted. Just huh? After all, Hitakesukumo's psychological tolerance is too low. If he had half of Danzo's brazenness and patience, he would definitely not commit suicide. As for the way of ninja, will of fire, insisted by Hitakesukumo, Sarutobi Hiruzen will not say much. Everyone has their own bonds that they insist on. So, after he took the seat of Hokage, as for the will of fire, I just made a little publicity about the literal meaning. Where the leaves are flying, the fire is also endless, and the fire will continue to illuminate the village and let the new leaves germinate. Without adding his own mind and will, joke, there will be 1,000 Hamlets in the eyes of 1,000 people. Everyone has a different understanding of the will of fire, and he is too lazy to add his own will and understanding to wash other people's brains with the will of fire. Not before. After the system is awakened, it will be even more so. It is too incompetent to go to brainwashing when you have strength, and fists are the last word. Ding. Congratulations to host, the big change in the plot of the Will of Fire has been completed, the mission is being resolved. The mission is being resolved. Ding. Congratulations host, the settlement is complete. Ding. Congratulations to the host, congratulations to the host for obtaining the perfect level of compound ninjutsu experience package, Earth Dragon Flame Flow, Lightning Water Dragon Bomb, Wishful Stick A Middle. Gale, 5 Escape A Middle. Dalian Dan Technique, etc. will be available from proficiency is elevated to perfect mastery. Ding. Congratulations to host, you have obtained 5% of the Sengoku templates unlock integration. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you. Readers. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 20 Become Strong Again. Begging for flowers and evaluation at midnight. Prev chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Forehead. Listening to the reminder sound suddenly remembered by the system. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was picking up the cup to drink water, frowned, and a look of surprise flashed in his eyes. What's the situation? He just completely made up his mind not to use the Will of Fire to brainwash him, and he actually completed a major change in the plot of the Will of Fire. This kind of happiness came too suddenly, right? He really didn't expect it. Interesting. A broken bar. Sarutobi Hiruzen put down the water glass and muttered to himself, it seems that the reward for changing the plot was triggered after I made up my mind not to brainwash my brain with the Will of Fire. Alright. Before the system wakes up, Will of Fire, in fact, in his backup options. With the passage of time, the strength continued to weaken. In order to control the situation, the Will of Fire, a brainwashing illusion, should be used. Anyway, in a word. He will no longer be like the third Hokage in the original book who punches hard inside and is submissive to the outside world, living hypocrisy, living subdued and uncomfortable, and finally destroying his fame for a lifetime. But, after the system appears, his strength will not only not weaken, but will continue to become stronger and stronger again. The Will of Fire, a brainwashing illusion, is useless to him now, and has little effect, so he definitely won't think about using it. The reward is not bad. The perfect level of compound ninjutsu experience package can increase some combat power again. The next moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at the system's rewards and nodded in satisfaction. At present, for compound ninjutsu, are in the realm of proficiency. Now the system rewards a perfect level compound ninjutsu experience package. Advertisement. That means that Earth Dragon Flame Flow, Lightning Water Dragon Bomb, Ruai Stick A Middle. Guangfen, Wudu A Middle. Yandan Technique, etc. He can reach the realm of perfect mastery, not only more powerful, but also clap with both hands, will be able to cast. As for the 5% unlocked integration of the Sengoku template, it will come even more timely. Originally, the fusion degree of unlocking has reached 70%. Now that the system has rewarded 5%, it has reached 75%, and his strength will become stronger again. Never mind the broken bar. System. Extract a perfect level of compound ninjutsu experience package. A few seconds later, Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head. He didn't bother to think so much, and gave an order silently as soon as his mind moved. Swish, a golden light flashed away. All of a sudden, that countless experience and data about compound ninjutsu flooded into the mind of Sarutobi Hiruzen. In a trance, Sarutobi Hiruzen feels like he is practicing compound ninjutsu day after day, year after year, regardless of the seasons. At the beginning, He was only proficient in ninjutsu such as Earth Dragon Flame Style, Lightning Water Dragon Bomb, Ruai Stick Middle. Guangfen, Wu Dui Middle. Dalian Dan Technique, etc. But, as time went by, these compound ninjutsu were in his hands. The hands are becoming more and more casual, and finally reached the point where they can be used at will with a clap of both hands. It is indeed a perfect level of compound ninjutsu experience package. After a while, Sarutobi Hiruzen suddenly opened his eyes, nodded in satisfaction. Actually, for compound ninjutsu, basic proficiency is enough, but the perfect level of compound ninjutsu experience package is integrated. He felt that those compound ninjutsu seemed to have been practiced for decades or hundreds of years, and they had reached the level of perfect mastery without any discomfort or abruptness. 1 second a broken bar, 10 seconds, 3 minutes a broken bar advertisement a broken bar. As time goes by, the breath fluctuations on Sarutobi Hiruzen became more and more intense. Finally, after half an hour, the aura on Sarutobi Hiruzen's body gradually subsided, and a ray of light flashed across his eyes. Yes, in addition to 7 perfect levels of fire-style ninjutsu, some of the remaining fire-style ninjutsu have almost improved him from proficiency to grandmaster, and his proficiency in fire-style can be said to have achieved a small transformation. System: extract 5% of the Sengoku template to unlock the integration. Soon, after a little adjustment, Sarutobi Hiruzen gave another order without hesitation. Ding! Ding! Extracting 5% unlock fusion of Sengoku template. Peak state without side effects. Ding! Ding! 5% of the unlock fusion of the Sengoku template. Peak state without side effects has been extracted, and the Sengoku template, peak state without side effects, has been unlocked from 70% to 75%. Host, please get ready. Exclamation mark. The system's notification sound just fell. A terrifying power surged into Sarutobi Hiruzen's body. Immediately, in the mind of Sarutobi Hiruzen, the man wearing a pair of frog glasses and with a long beard tied into a twisted chin erupted with a palpitating aura. He immediately stretched out his fist and began to bombard the sandbags of warships hundreds of meters long. Boom. Boom. Boom! Exclamation mark. A deafening roar resounded. Even if hockey and abilities are not used, the sandbags of the warship are like paper, making harsh twisting sounds continuously. Finally, advertisement: more than 30 warship sandbags were smashed by Sengoku's fist bombardment. On the contrary, Sarutobi Hiruzen has accepted a lot of abilities and training methods related to Taijutsu. At this time, if anyone is here, it will be found that Sarutobi Hiruzen is in a state of epiphany and physical training, and the terrifying and majestic breath fluctuates on his body. Fortunately, the upper floors of the Hokage building, they were all blocked by barriers, and did not cause storms, but it also made Danbu, who was guarding the surrounding area, tremble with fear for a while, and panicked in his heart. Half an hour later, Sarutobi Hiruzen just recovered from the state of epiphany and physical training, showing a thoughtful expression. Yes, this time the fusion unlocks the practice and training methods of Sengoku Taijutsu. Among them, there are also some physical skills training and exchanges with Garb, Zephyr, Kong, Aokiji, Akainu, Kizaru and other top marines, which can be said to have benefited Sarutobi Hiruzen a lot. Although the Conqueror's haki has not improved, but the gains in physical skills are perfect. Sarutobi Hiruzen stretched happily, showing a satisfied expression. Cool. He got stronger again. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you, readers. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 21. I'll hurt you regret. Prev chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement. Cool. He got stronger again. As far as I can tell, now he is much stronger than in his prime. Before the play begins, basically invincible. As for after the plot started, the hangers began to work hard. Cage level and Super Shadow are both cannon fodder. Only those who have the blood of Oetsutsuki and reach the 6th path level are eligible to determine the balance of victory. He is not worried at all, who hasn't plugged in yet. Gulu. But, just at this time, it seems that there is another breakthrough in physical skills. After eating Sarutobi Hiruzen for a few hours, I feel hungry again. It's better to take some pills to satisfy your hunger. Sarutobi Hiruzen shook his head helplessly, then opened the drawer, took out the pills that the Nara clan specially refined for him, which was infused with various precious medicinal materials such as deer antlers, and ate 12 pills at once. No way, the taste of ramen is okay, but it's not very important. The nutritional value is not very good for his current body. It needs to be accumulated by quantity. How long has it been since I've been hungry again? Or take the pill. Even if it tastes bad, at least it can do the job. As expected, after eating 12 special pills, my stomach surged, and a warm current appeared in my stomach, pouring into the 8 extraordinary meridians of my body, and my hunger disappeared immediately. The stronger the body, the greater the consumption. It seems that I have to ask the Nara family to get some special pills, and make the taste better by the way. Advertisement. Aware of the state of your body. A slight arc appeared at the corner of Sarutobi Hiruzen's mouth. These pills. With his previous physical condition, he could only eat one every 2 or 3 days, allowing the body to digest and absorb it slowly. If he ate too much, he was afraid that his body would not be able to bear it, and it would have a negative effect. Now that he ate 12 at a time, his body digested it directly, and he could still feel the cells in his whole body jumping for joy, without any adverse reactions. From this, you can imagine the earth-shaking changes that have taken place in his body. It's such a happy decision. The Narclan should be very happy. Since the pill has a great effect, then Sarutobi Hiruzen just needs to give the order. Anyway. He is not eating the Overlord's meal. He also wants to give money to the Nara family. The only difference is that the Nara family has to earn a little less. Is it finally here? But, while Sarutobi Hiruzen was still perceiving the changes in his body, Observation Haki immediately sensed Konoha F3 rushing towards the Hokage building. Shimura Dance A Ring, Utatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura. Just come. Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes flickered a few times, and he muttered to himself, it's just for you to learn a lot, so as not to make small moves behind your back. Actually, after he took the position of Hokage, he drifted away from Konoha F3, different road non-face plan. He didn't want to follow the old path of Sarutobi Hiruzen in the original book. I also don't want to be with Shimura Dance A Ring, Utatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura. I just want to do whatever I want, to be an ancestor of Konoha village. No. Wrong. To be the strongest third Hokage in history. 3 minutes later, boom. A piercing sound of pushing the door sounded in the office. I saw Konoha F3, Shimura Dance A Ring, Utatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura walked in slowly from the door, looking straight at third Hokage. Alright, although already mentally prepared. Advertisement. But, when they really saw a transformation, Sarutobi Hiruzen, Shimura Dance A Ring, Utatane Koharu, and Midokado Hamura were still stunned, and their expressions were in a daze. Because the current Sarutobi Hiruzen is compared to before, whether it's appearance, temperament, or feeling, there have been earth-shaking changes. Whereas there's still a little bit of the appearance of an old monkey, originally due to age and chronic diseases, Sarutobi Hiruzen has wrinkles on his cheeks, and his temples and beard have begun to turn gray. It's better now. The wrinkles on his face have disappeared, his temples and beard are black and beautiful, just like a strong young man, and he is completely different from the state and appearance that a 5-year-old man should have. So that, Shimura Dance A Ring, Utatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura all have a feeling that they are not from the same generation as Sarutobi Hiruzen. What made them even more frightened was that Sarutobi Hiruzen exuded the majestic and vigorous aura of a high-ranking person, which made them feel ashamed and dare not look directly. Shinobu! So, Sarutobi Hiruzen held the cup without speaking. Shimura Dance A Ring, Utatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura were instead shocked and did not speak. Quiet! The office fell into a dead silence. Sage body. It must be possible to achieve such a great transformation with the help of the powerful vitality and resilience of Sage body. Why? Sarutobi Hiruzen, an old thing, is really hidden too deeply, and it has been hidden from everyone. Soon, after the initial horror and shock, Shimura Dance A Ring's expression is gloomy, and his heart is full of envy and hatred for Sarutobi Hiruzen's transformation to ultimate. Hiruzen, you have undergone such a big transformation, there must be a big problem. As if his patience had been worn out, Shimura Dance A Ring took a deep breath, took a few steps forward, suppressed the aggrieved envy in his heart, and said angrily, you. As third Hokage, you should give us a reasonable explanation, otherwise ... at your own risk. I'm Hokage, Sarutobi Hiruzen joked and said slowly, I do things without explaining to anyone. Advertisement. No. You have to give us an explanation. Shimura Dance A Ring gritted his teeth and said with a dark face, otherwise you will regret it. I'm Hokage. Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't panic at all, and said something slowly. Do you really think you can do whatever you want? I'm Hokage. Did you secretly conduct an illegal experiment, transplant first Hokage's cells, and get a sage body, which made such a huge transformation? I'm Hokage. If you have the ability to take off the Hokage Imperial robe, let us check it carefully. There must be traces of transplantation on your body. I'm Hokage. Damn it. Really damn it. Sarutobi Hiruzen, I know you are Hokage. Are we still the elders elected by second Hokage? Crazy. Shimura Dance A Ring felt as if his fist had hit cotton. Hokage. You are Hokage. You are awesome. You are amazing. Could it be that Hokage can do whatever he wants and do whatever he wants? Our elders are also in order to protect the interests of Konoha village, and have the power to check and balance Hokage. So you, Hokage, can't let you mess around. Thinking of this, Shimura Dance A Ring once again put on an old face, and yelled at Sarutobi Hiruzen, don't think that you are Hokage. You can do whatever you want, our elders will not sit idly by. Sorry, a broken bar. Sarutobi Hiruzen shrugged calmly, and said indifferently, I am the third Hokage of Konoha village, and I can do whatever I want. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you everyone. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 22 Don't Give Face Brev Chapter Next chapter Advertisement A broken bar. Shimura Dan's A-Ring was so angry that his whole body trembled. He pointed at Sarutobi Hiruzen, wanted to say something, but couldn't say anything. Arrogant, the Sarutobi Hiruzen in front of me is really rampant to ultimate. They didn't pay attention to their elders at all, and they can do whatever they want by talking about Hokage. This Shimura Dan's A-Ring is so angry that I want to vomit blood. He didn't expect, after realizing a transformation, Sarutobi Hiruzen is even more arbitrary and arrogant than before, without any human touch in his words. Hate. For a while, Shimura Dan's A-Ring only hates himself for not being Hokage. He could only watch Sarutobi Hiruzen stand at the highest point of justice and suppress him severely, but he could only say bluntly that Sarutobi Hiruzen would regret it. These a broken bar. Seeing that Shimura Dan's A-Ring was speechless, Udatane Koharu and Midokado Hamura also reacted, and after looking at each other, they had already reached a consensus. This time, Konoha F3 and they came to Hokage's office together, just want to have an explanation, advance and retreat together, share honor and disgrace. Now Shimura Dan's A-Ring is suppressed, then the two of them must not sit idly by. Hiruzen, we are also high-level officials of Konoha village after all, are you going too far? The next moment, Udatane Koharu took a deep breath and said in a deep voice, at the beginning, when second Hokage set up the elders, it specifically stated that it had the rights and obligations second only to Hokage. Are you doing this right now, worthy of second Hokage? We have no intention of competing with you. Midokado Hamura frowned, and said in a deep voice, but you can always give us a reasonable explanation for many things. Oh, Sarutobi Hiruzen nodded disdainfully, glanced at Udatane Koharu and Midokado Hamura, and said, what explanation do you want? Alright. Advertisement. He had already expected the arrival of the group of elders. At the beginning, after taking over Hokage, he drifted away from the elders, especially with his Hokage acting arbitrarily and reclaiming most of the rights of the elders. Shimura Dan's A-Ring, Udatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura began to hold together for warmth. When strong, Shimura Dan's A-Ring, Udatane Koharu, and Midokado Hamura dare not stand up, even if they can't bear it, they must endure it. But, as time flows, his strength began to wane. As a result, Shimura Dan's A-Ring, Udatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura started to emerge again. And some of the rumors circulating in Konoha village were almost all caused by Konoha F3. Now when I come to Hokage's office, I just see that he has become younger. Envy and hatred, but also a little angry. Did you secretly transplant cells from first Hokage? Udatane Koharu hesitated for a moment, then added, in the past 2 years, you have often practiced in closed doors. Is it to conceal the research on first Hokage cells? Judging from the current situation, you must have succeeded in your research. Midokado Hamura glanced at the younger Sarutobi Hiruzen with fiery eyes, and said excitedly, we also want to transplant cells from first Hokage. Can you see if it works? ? That's right, Udatane Koharu said with a little expectation. It's better to be alone than to be happy together. Anyway, we used to be friends. Since you have successfully researched, share the technology and let our elders also benefit. I'm not in the mood to transplant cells from first Hokage. After hearing these words, Sarutobi Hiruzen showed a smile that was not a smile, and said softly, I retreated only for cultivation. I didn't study the cells of first Hokage at all. Joke, for the cells of first Hokage Senju Hashirama, unless you have to. Sarutobi Hiruzen wouldn't have any big ideas. After all, first generation purpose wood style, there are special reasons for being able to exert such great power. Advertisement. First generation's eye-catching world and Yamato's greening efforts fully demonstrate that even if the target cells of first generation are transplanted, it is impossible to have the original wood style and sage body. In short, without the power of Ashura and Indra, Senju Hashirama and Dakai Madara, may be very strong and pervert, but definitely not so bug. No, impossible, absolutely impossible. Without transplanting first Hokage's cells, how could you undergo such a transformation? Sarutobi Hiruzen, you have to give us a reasonable explanation. Seeing that Sarutobi Hiruzen denied it, Udatane Koharu and Midokado Hamura were stunned for a moment, and then they became a little upset, and made a distraught voice. This Sarutobi Hiruzen, at this time, still thinking about eating alone, you grow taller and younger, can't you make us younger too? Anyway, we were all partners fighting side by side. Shut up. The voice did not fall. Sarutobi Hiruzen's face darkened in vain, and he snapped. Explanation? What explanation do you want? I, third Hokage, do things and don't need to explain to anyone, including your elders. Nemus, I have known for a long time that the three guys from the elders group will have no good things. If you have a better attitude, I will give you a little explanation. If you question me as soon as you come, I'm sorry, and lazy will not give you face. Quiet! Exclamation mark. The whole office can hear needles falling. Sarutobi Hiruzen, Udatane Koharu, and Midokado Hamura were all stunned in the face of the suddenly furious Sarutobi Hiruzen, and the arrogance to the point of ultimate yelling just now echoed in their ears. Unbelievable, neither of them thought. Sarutobi Hiruzen will not give them face like this, and say that Hokage does things without explaining to anyone. What is this? Is it really going to be a dictatorship, advertisement, or do you want to completely tear your skin off with them? There is no room for maneuver at all! Exclamation mark. Snort! A broken bar, a broken bar. At this time, Shimura Dance A-Ring reacted first, snorted coldly, and asked, Sarutobi Hiruzen, do you know what you are talking about? You may be very strong, but our elders are not vegetarian. Sarutobi Hiruzen glanced at Shimura Dance A-Ring, stood up slowly from the chair, and walked towards Shimura Dance A-Ring, Udatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura step by step. Every step, the breath on his body became more intense. There is a faint taste of the king's rule and the earth's surrender. Finally, when Sarutobi Hiruzen walked in front of Konoha F3, the powerful oppressive force has made Shimura Dance A-Ring, Udatane Koharu, and Midokado Hamura look extremely ugly and dignified, and even their breathing has become a little short. No way, it is really Sarutobi Hiruzen who is a head taller than them. Looking down at them from a high position, the invisible imposing coercion that erupted was really too strong, too perverted, even for them. They couldn't bear it. Why can the invisible momentum be so strong? It seems that Sarutobi Hiruzen not only has become younger, but also recovered from the stubborn diseases of the body. Facing Sarutobi Hiruzen up close, Shimura Dance A-Ring, Udatane Koharu, and Midokado Hamura were constantly trembling in their hearts, with disbelief flashing on their cheeks. Originally, they had hoped that Sarutobi Hiruzen's stubborn illness would not recover, but now it seems that they were too worried. Not only did Sarutobi Hiruzen grow taller and younger, but his stubborn illness must have recovered, even with the oppressive aura emanating from him. They can't breathe. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you everyone. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 23 is Slap and Fly Away. 6th watch begging for flowers and comments. Prev chapter. Next chapter advertisement. I don't want to explain so much to you. Looking down at Shimura Dance A-Ring, Udatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura, Sarutobi Hiruzen's expression didn't change at all, and he snapped. You guys always remember one thing for me, as the third Hokage of Konoha Village, I can do whatever I want, and I don't need to explain to anyone. You are not qualified to give pointers. The elders only need to do their job well, otherwise. I didn't finish my sentence, but the expression is simple and clear. You a broken bar, and in the face of Sarutobi Hiruzen, who is unscrupulous to ultimate, Shimura Dance A-Ring, Udatane Koharu, and Midokado Hamura are furious. The veins on their foreheads are exposed, their faces are blue and white for a while. Strangeness, Sarutobi Hiruzen in front of me, it has already made them feel strange and fearful. In the past, Sarutobi Hiruzen acted arbitrarily, but lived in peace with the elders. Even if there were some conflicts and differences, everyone left a little room for relaxation and a bottom line. Well now, Sarutobi Hiruzen seems to be a showdown. Don't pretend at all. They didn't pay attention to the members of the elders group at all in the words. Sarutobi Hiruzen, don't you force us to unite and enforce the privilege of removing Hokage. After a few seconds, Udatane Koharu gritted his teeth, and said angrily, the Fire Country Daimyo has long been dissatisfied with you. Don't force us. At the beginning, second Hokage set up a group of elders to let us assist you, and in fact, it meant to monitor you. Now you are already somewhat unworthy of being a Hokage, and you are an unqualified Hokage. Midokado Hamura sneered, and said, in order to protect the interests of Konoha Village, our elders will not bow to you. Haha, a broken bar. At this time, seeing Udatane Koharu and Midokado Hamura who had started to attack, Shimura Dance A-Ring took a deep breath, couldn't help laughing, and said, Sarutobi Hiruzen, you have finally revealed your wolf ambition, right? In the beginning, second Hokage should have chosen me as Hokage. Elect me as Hokage. I will definitely work together with the elders to suppress the major blood successor families and lead Konoha Village to a higher level. It will not be like Sarutobi Hiruzen, who will act arbitrarily and recklessly, not only against the will of second Hokage, reuse the Uchiha clan, but also rely on himself as Hokage, and do whatever he wants. When it comes to this, Shimura Dance A-Ring couldn't help showing an annoyed expression. Presumptuous. I am a Hokage, how can you question and threaten me? Sarutobi Hiruzen laughed jokingly, stepped forward suddenly, and burst out a wave of violent aura. which suppressed Udatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura, and Shinmura Den's A-ring at lightning speed. Exclamation mark. Facing Conqueror's Haki who burst out suddenly from Sarutobi Hiruzen, before Udatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura, and Shinmura Den's A-ring could react, they felt a buzzing in their head and a few violent tremors in their hearts. Remember, you must obey the rules when facing me, speaking and doing things, and the basic distinction between superiors and inferiors is still necessary. Next moment, Sarutobi Hiruzen raised his arm. Suddenly, he slapped Udatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura, and Shinmura Den's A-ring. Advertisement no. Sarutobi Hiruzen, you are too much. Damn. Sarutobi Hiruzen, what do you want? Seeing the raised arms of Sarutobi Hiruzen, Udatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura, and Shinmura Den's A-ring were horrified, and the whole person suddenly became excited, subconsciously wanting to resist. Exclamation mark. However, the moment Udatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura, and Shinmura Den's A-ring wanted to rebel, the Conqueror's Haki erupting from Sarutobi Hiruzen swelled a lot again, and the powerful momentum shockwave acted on Udatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura, and Shinmura Den's A-ring like a storm, causing the three of them to pause for a while. But just this pause, Sarutobi Hiruzen's palm has already slapped in lightning speed. Snapped, snapped, snapped! Exclamation mark. Three crisp voices sounded in a row. Udatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura, Shinmura Den's A-ring only feel pain in their old face. The powerful force acted on the face, causing the bones to tremble a few times, and the pain swept through the whole body, and immediately the body flew upside down uncontrollably. Boom. Boom. Boom! Exclamation mark. Next moment, three consecutive impact sounds sounded. Udatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura, and Shinmura Den's A-ring hit the wall of the office. The powerful impact made the Hokage building shake a few times, making three dull impact sounds, and finally fell heavily to the ground. Each vomiting he took a mouthful of blood. Sensing something inside, the expressions of some Anbu ninjas hiding outside the Hokage building changed. It's okay, you don't have to worry. However, just when these Anbu ninjas wanted to act, Sarutobi Hiruzen's indifferent voice came out, immediately making those Anbu ninjas stand still. Ding! Congratulations to host, I slapped Udatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura, and Shinmura Den's A-ring, completely opposed Konoha F3, changed part of the plot, and the task is being resolved. Ding! Congratulations host, the settlement is complete. Ding! Congratulations to host, congratulations to host, wind style A middle. Vacuum wave, wind style A middle. Vacuum wave, wind style A middle. Vacuum sphere, wind style A middle. Vacuum diatoma technique, wind style, elevated to perfection level mastery. Ding! Congratulations to host, you have obtained 0.5% unlock fusion of single K template. At the same moment, no, listening to the prompt sounding in my mind, Sarutobi Hiruzen was taken aback for a moment, and then couldn't help showing a very surprised expression. Can this also be rewarded with plot changes? It hurts. The other side, advertisement was thrown away by a slap. Udatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura, and Shinmura Den's A-ring who had fallen to the ground could no longer describe the anger in their hearts. Nemus, they were thrown away by Sarutobi Hiruzen's helpless slap. This simply did not take them seriously, and did not give the elders any face. Not an illusion? Yes. There is a problem with the coercion of the momentum. Among them, the most collapsed and aggrieved is Shinmura Den's A-ring. The moment Sarutobi Hiruzen started, he had already noticed it and wanted to fight back. However, the plan couldn't keep up with the changes. He was stunned by the invisible aura emanating from Sarutobi Hiruzen for a second, and in this second, he was thrown away by Sarutobi Hiruzen's slap without any resistance. And thinking of being slapped by Sarutobi Hiruzen, while Shinmura Den's A-ring was aggrieved, I just feel that my heart is broken all over the place, and my heart is broken by Sarutobi Hiruzen. He beat me, how dare he hit me, all the time. He regards Sarutobi Hiruzen as a good gay friend, even if this good friend is not in the same boat as them for the time being, even if they are drifting away after taking the position of Hokage. He has confidence, someday will influence Sarutobi Hiruzen, together, they will join hands, no, two swords, and rule Konoha village together. It's good now. Sarutobi Hiruzen broke his heart with a slap. In the past, the scenes of cooperation under second Hokage were all smashed by this slap. After all, it was he Shinmura Den's A-ring, who paid by mistake. Damn it. Sarutobi, you hit us? Udatane Koharu and Midokado Hamura also reacted, wiping the blood from the corners of their mouths, especially when they saw a few teeth mixed in the blood. They were furious to the point of ultimate turn face. They have to completely turn against Sarutobi Hiruzen. Today Sarutobi Hiruzen dares to slap them without any scruples and ignores them, then tomorrow he will dare to make them kneel down without any scruples, and cannot encourage this kind of arrogance. A broken bar. However, at this time, Sarutobi Hiruzen, who came back to his senses, ignored these words. His eyes lit up slightly, and he looked at Shinmura Den's A-ring, Udatain Koharu, and Midokado Hamura like looking at experienced babies. He took a few steps forward and squatted in front of Shimura Den's ring. He patted his shoulder cautiously. It is more than words. The third Hokage in the original book is also one of you. Now I leave. You will become Konoha F3. What exactly are you trying to do? Sensing the palm on the shoulder, advertisement looking at the strange eyes of Sarutobi Hiruzen, Shimura Den's ring's body became extremely stiff, showing an expression that dared not speak out. Nothing. There was a radiance at the corner of Sarutobi Hiruzen's mouth. He restrained his mind, and said with a smile, remember, I am third Hokage, understand? Actually, for Shimura Den's ring, the kunai cut Sasuke, Nabukatu returned to Ohashi together. He really has no bad intentions. As long as you are obedient and follow the rules, then everything is easy to talk about. Disobedient? That slap was considered light. What's more, for a long time, he felt that Shimura Den's ring had a different kind of thought for him, and now he just cut off this thought. He Sarutobi Hiruzen is a normal man, so it's not good to say that. A broken bar. Shimura Den's ring's body trembled subconsciously, and he wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth, and said in a low voice, you will regret it. You can try a broken bar. Sarutobi Hiruzen smiled disdainfully, and said, anyway, you all remember it. You must be polite and behave in Konoha village. Speaking of which, a gleam of coldness flashed in Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes, and he glanced at Udatain Koharu and Midokado Hamura respectively, and said earnestly, otherwise you will really die. Facing Sarutobi Hiruzen's undisguised gaze, Shimura Den's ring, Udatain Koharu, and Midokado Hamura felt a chill in their hearts. They had already noticed that Sarutobi Hiruzen's eyes were wrong, as if they were serious and not joking, so that the three of them the body froze for a moment. More importantly, the strength that Sarutobi Hiruzen showed just now also made the three of them a little uncertain. That invisible aura of coercion, it can actually make them feel an urge to kneel and submit in their hearts. Something is wrong. Something is wrong. Sarutobi Hiruzen after achieving transformation, it's completely different from before, and they can't understand it, they can't see through it, and they can't figure out the reality. Tolerate, must endure! ! Even if it's a turnaround, you have to find out the details of Sarutobi Hiruzen, Shimura Den's ring, Udatain Koharu, and Midokado Hamura suppressed their inner aggrievedness and anger, and immediately said nothing more. This time, they miscalculated and rushed to the office of the Hokage building to find Sarutobi Hiruzen, but they did not expect that after realizing a transformation, the current Sarutobi Hiruzen is becoming more and more unscrupulous, doing whatever he wants. Somebody is coming. A broken bar. Sudden, Sarutobi Hiruzen seemed to sense something, and said softly, get up, all of you. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you everyone. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 24. The strength has recovered by 100 million points. Rev chapter. Next chapter. Advertisement brush. The voice did not fall. Sarutobi Hiruzen flickered and sat on the office chair. Somebody is coming. Listen to this sentence. Shimura Den's ring, Udatain Koharu, and Midokado Hamura froze for a moment, and just as they were about to get up, there was a knock on the door. Please come in. Sarutobi Hiruzen took a sip of water from the cup and said something softly. Boom. With the sound of the door opening, I saw the patriarch of the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Fushin, the patriarch of the Hyuga clan, Hyuga Tanmu, the patriarch of the Akamaki clan, Akamaki Takecase, the patriarch of the Nara clan, Narla Ayu, Yamanaka shaman of the Yamanaka clan, etc., in no particular order into the office. No doubt, after hearing the sound of what happened at the Ikaraku ramen restaurant, the patriarchs of these families went to the Hokage building in no particular order. When they happened to meet each other, they entered the Hokage building together, for a broken bar. However, after entering the office, Uchiha Tomten, Hyuga Tenmoku and other family patriarchs saw Udatain Koharu, Midokado Hamura, Shimura Den's ring of the elders group who were getting up from the ground at first sight. Especially on the red and swollen cheeks of the three of them, a palm print is even more clearly visible, coupled with the blood left on the ground. Even a fool would know what happened in the office, which invisibly made the atmosphere embarrassing to ultimate. Quiet. I am most afraid of the sudden silence of the air! FK. Did we miss something? Did the elders of the elders be beaten by third Hokage? Advertisement. This. Is this too violent? Watching the distraught Udatain Koharu, Midokado Hamura, Shimura Den's ring, after Uchiha Fushin, Hyuga Tenmu and other family heads reacted, the expressions on their faces changed again and again, and there was a turbulent wave in their hearts, which could not be calmed down at all. They just came to meet Lord Third Hokage, but they didn't expect to see such a shocking scene. The high-ranking elders of Konoha and the leader of Jinbu were actually slapped by Lord Third Hokage alone. It's just scary. The other side, facing the patriarchs of the major families of Konoha, Udatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura, and Shimura Dense A Ring, who just stood up from the ground, looked extremely gloomy. They were ashamed and just wanted to find a hole in the ground. In the past, facing Akai Fushin, Hyuga Tenmu and others, they were extremely proud. They had a natural sense of superiority and pride, so they looked down on Akai Fushin and others at all. Why are you patriarchs? The status of our elders in Konoha village is higher than yours. It's good now. Their fame is ruined once. No need to think about it. The news that they were slapped by third Hokage will definitely spread. Thinking of this, Udatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura, Shimura Dense A Ring's heart is as uncomfortable as eating shit. Until now, they still haven't figured it out. Why third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, after realizing a transformation, there will be such a big change, and I don't care about the extremely serious consequences after the showdown with them. Ahem, it seems that the atmosphere is a little depressed. Sarutobi Hiruzen, who was sitting on the office chair, picked up the water glass and coughed a few times on purpose. Master Third Hokage. Master Third Hokage. Master Third Hokage. As soon as the cough stopped, the patriarch of the Uchiha clan, Uchiha Futon, the patriarch of the Hyuga clan, Hyuga Tenmu, the patriarch of the Akamachi clan, Akamachi Takakes, the patriarch of the Nara clan, Narla Ayu, the Yamanaka clan's Yamanaka shaman and others also reacted. One after another he diverted his attention, took a few steps forward, and looked at third Hokage who was sitting on the office chair. Advertisement who? 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 The next moment, accompanied by the sound of gasping for air, the patriarchs of Akaido Mita, Hyuga Tenmoku, Akamachi Takakes and other families froze, although he had already been mentally prepared. But when he really saw third Hokage who had achieved a big transformation, he still showed an expression of extreme horror and disbelief. Nemus, it's really Sarutobi Hiruzen-sama's change is really too big. For a while, they were all in a trance, especially looking at the majestic and young third Hokage. There were turbulent waves in my heart, and I couldn't calm down at all. I'll write a broken bar. At this moment, looking at the stunned crowd, Sarutobi Hiruzen put down the cup in his hand, and said in a low voice, as you can see, this retreat practice has a great breakthrough. Not only have I become younger, but I have also grown taller. When it comes to this, Sarutobi Hiruzen also added slowly, the stubborn illness that has been bothering me has been healed, and my strength has also recovered by 1,000,000 points. Exclamation mark. Although Sarutobi Hiruzen's tone was flat, but falling into the ears of Shimura Dense A Ring, Udatane Koharu, Midokado Hamura, Uchiha Futon, Hyuga Tenmoku, Akamachi Takakes and others, it exploded like a bomb, and countless roars resounded throughout. No way, you may have seen it with your own eyes, but when the real party admitted that his strength had recovered, everyone in the office was shocked. A closed-door practice. Master Third Hokage has achieved an earth-shaking change. It's just too scary. It's really unbelievable. And the facts are in front of you. You have to believe it if you don't believe it. Advertisement heavy great breakthrough. What kind of way great breakthrough will make such a big change in people? So, in this situation, Uchiha Fushin, Hyuga Tenmoku, Akamachi Takakes and others looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen, full of doubts and curiosity, and there was still some vague expectation in their hearts. Yes, they want to know, what is the so-called great breakthrough? Let third Hokage, who has already begun to decline, realize a rebirth like Nirvana rebirth. Once they can all learn, does that mean they can all be like Sarutobi Hiruzen-sama? Make a big transformation. Brush. Exclamation mark. The next moment, everyone in the office turned their attention to third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, even Shimura Dense A Ring, Udatane Koharu, and Midokado Hamura, who had just been slapped, couldn't help pricking up their ears. Obviously, they were also very curious about what the so-called great breakthrough was. From what Sarutobi Hiruzen just said, it should be that there are no first Hokage cells transplanted, so sage body is nonsense. So what kind of great breakthrough is it that can make a person who has started to go downhill achieve an earth-shaking transformation? I don't know. We can only wait for the explanation from third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen-sama. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you everyone. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th. Chapter 25. A brand new Teishu training system. 1 kneeling for flowers and evaluation. Prev chapter. Next chapter advertisement. A broken bar. Facing the eyes of everyone, the corner of Sarutobi Hiruzen's mouth curved slightly, and he said meaningfully, I know you must have some guesses in your mind, but I can tell you clearly, I definitely didn't transplant any first Hokage cells, and did not practice some evil secret techniques and forbidden technique. I can have the transformation I have now. When it comes to this, Sarutobi Hiruzen paused for a moment, And then under the look of everyone's eagerness to wait, he said surprisingly, "That's because I have a great breakthrough in the cultivation of physical skills, and I have developed a brand new set that does not have chakra, a physical training system that can be cultivated. Under this system of physical training, the quantitative change has turned into a qualitative change. Not only will the strength become stronger, but the appetite will increase, and the physical fitness will undergo earth-shaking changes. Compared with before, it is even more incomparable." Quiet. After these few words, the whole office was dead silent. No one thought Third Hokage Master Sarutobi Hiruzen would say something like this. Instead of transplanting First Hokage's cells, a brand new physical training system has been developed. Attention, it is to develop a brand new physical training system that can be practiced without chakra! That means, this whole set of physical training methods, it has never appeared in the entire ninja world. It is a very pure body art. At present, the entire ninja world is probably not only the Third Hokage Master, but is this possible? To know, Master Third Hokage's Taijutsu ranks first in the ninja world, and his physical fitness is not bad. It's all right now. It's because of practicing a brand new set of physical skills that the physical fitness that was already considered good has been improved, and the body has undergone earth-shaking changes. Advertisement unbelievable. There are really some people can believe it. If Lord Third Hokage has awakened some unknown blood succession boundary, it caused a super transformation of my body. Can everyone still accept it? It's all right now. Developed a brand new physical training system that can be practiced without chakra, and transform the body. This makes some people who have always used ninjutsu chakra as the main body can't accept it! Jokia broken bar. A broken bar. What is pure taijutsu before the boundaries of ninjutsu and blood succession? Not worth mentioning. A pure taijutsu ninja has no future and hope. At present, almost all the martial arts that are popular in the ninja world need to use chakra, or cooperate with the blood succession limit. Even Cloud Shinaba Village's famous ninjutsu, lightning style chakra mode, also needs to use lightning style chakra. Hyuga the gentle fist of a family also has to rely on buy-in and chakra. Even the forbidden technique 8 inner gates temporarily gains powerful power by unlocking the channel that binds chakra in the human body. Well now. A brand new physical training system has appeared that can be practiced without chakra. Isn't this especially contrary to common sense? It also violated the original intention of the ninja's ancestor, Sage of Six Paths, to create ninja. To put it bluntly, if you practice pure physical skills, you will be gradually eliminated by the tide of history like the warriors in the Iron Kingdom. If it weren't for the fact that this is Third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen, they all wanted to fight for their reasons. Lord Hokage, times have changed. Your brand new physical training system, which can be practiced without chakra, has absolutely no future. Your old body has metamorphosed. It must have nothing to do with this brand new physical training method. Besides, the founder of ninja, Sage of Six Paths, unlocked the true meaning of chakra. You do the opposite. Developed a brand new physical training system that can be practiced without chakra. Advertisement. Lord Third Hokage, are you going to sing against the legendary Sage of Six Paths? Still think that ninjutsu chakra practice has no future? For a broken bar. At this time, after Akai Fushin, Hyuga Tenmu and other family patriarchs opened their mouths. They didn't know what to say. If it weren't for the fact that Lord Third Hokage has indeed achieved a big transformation from the outside to the inside, they would have suspected that Third Hokage was playing with them. After all, a family that can stand tall in Konoha village, either it has the limit of blood inheritance, or it has a unique secret technique, all of which are based on chakra. Master Third Hokage has developed a brand new physical training system that can be practiced without chakra, which is unbelievable no matter how you think about it. A broken bar. At this very moment, more than just Akai Fushin and others, even Shimura Dance A-Ring, Utatane Koharu, and Midokado Hamura frowned subconsciously, apparently not believing that the new body art training system developed by Sarutobi Hiruzen could make such a big transformation of the body. Without chakra as the basis, there is no soul, just like a castle in the air. It seems that Sarutobi Hiruzen still doesn't trust them. Not telling the truth, randomly made up a ridiculous reason. For a while, no one spoke, invisibly making the atmosphere of the whole office a little depressing. Don't you believe it? Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't get angry when he saw everyone's uncertain expressions. Instead, he said slowly, even without chakra, pure body skills will improve explosively if you cultivate to a certain level. In fact, your strength will not compare how weak is chakra. Wait a few days. I will personally show you the powerful power of this body technique. Alright. Advertisement. This is a brand new physical training system that can be cultivated even without chakra. It is the training system of Marine 6 Styles and Conqueror's Haki. After integrating the template of the Peak Sengoku, he almost has a thorough understanding of the physical skills of Marine 6 Styles and Conqueror's Haki that exceed the limit of human physical strength. How to practice, some minor notes, and how to lay a solid foundation, etc. He knows everything. As for people who don't believe it, that's a very normal thing. Ever since Sage of Six Paths created ninja and unlocked the true meaning of chakra, chakra practice has become the mainstream and orthodox in everyone's eyes, the invisible caged bird has already been engraved deep in the soul. Ninjas become stronger by practicing chakra, and taijutsu also evolves into ninjutsu. If you don't practice chakra now, you can become stronger by relying on pure physical training, which is undoubtedly breaking the tradition and breaking away from some kind of shackles. Besides, he just said that without chakra, he can practice and become stronger, but he didn't say firmly that he can't practice with chakra. The reason why he waited a few days to demonstrate the power of this set of body skills is, on the one hand, to completely solve the incident of who takes a Kumo ninja unique chakra to practice Marine 6 styles, making it more suitable for ninja cultivation. Not urgent, just take your time. Isn't it just changing the plot to get settlement rewards? Just make a nest with Marine 6 styles and Conqueror's Hockey! Ninjas have high offense and low defense, and their physical fitness is not good enough to carry out long-term protracted battles. After that, the ninjas in Konoha village were all tank assassins, and they even had one more training system. Under subtle influence, their strength would definitely change, which would lead to a series of changes in the plot. Anyway, Sarutobi Hiruzen doesn't expect every ninja in Konoha village to learn Grandmaster from Marine 6 styles and Conqueror's Hockey, as long as they can learn a little, and improve their physical fitness and combat endurance a little bit, then they will know how good it is to be a ninja to improve their physical fitness. P.S. Ask for a reward. Favorites. Flowers and comments. Cute new. Thank you everyone. Feel's 18th anniversary brand upgrade gives back to readers. Recharge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge. Activity time, August 10th to August 20th.